Nomads. Nomads?
Nomads is the name of.
Okay, let us be mindful of our swearing, boys.
Is it nomads or nomads?
I mean, they're saying no mods, but who knows what they're talking about? We need heavy mods.
That's a click from Kill Squad. Nomads.
Nomads? Yeah. We used to talk about nomads a lot.
Yeah, a nomadic train hopping lifestyle.
No, but before you even were here.
Oh, Yuri? I mean,
he would never hop a train. He ain't got it in him to hop a train. But no, I remember back in the day,
break his leg.
That was like, AD would have like a joke that would last like a week. And it was, for a week, it was just like, I'm a nomad. I think
that predated my era.
No, because I remember it was like prime pandemic, and for some reason he would just be calling himself a nomad all the time. Which people got to understand that when I reminisce about random memories like that, that's not hating.
No.
That's just me bringing up something random for the real fans.
Yeah, that's lore.
Pasta gang.
That's lore.
Just dancing like this. We had a lot of wild jokes during the pandemic because you want to know what it was, and this is a good lead into the fact that we will be streaming your music after the stream, but we used to do those music streams on Fridays. Mm-hmm. We would start at noon and go till like 11 p.m. or midnight.
Just cracking the whole time.
Terrible. Like no brain left by the end of it. Smoked 20 blunts.
Yeah.
Just dead.
Yeah.
By the end of it.
It becomes very Truman Show-esque at a certain point. It's like you're literally like just... But No Mods sounds like a Drake's new diss track featuring JoJo Siwa.
That's funny that you mentioned the Truman Show.
Yeah.
Because we're watching a show on Hulu, which we actually didn't finish last night, but it's about a guy in Japan who they created this show that was basically like, there would be these contests in like magazines that you could like fill out, and they were like, if you win, they'll send you like a bag of rice in the mail.
Yeah.
And this dude like got trapped in this room for months and months and months, and he had to like prove that he could live off of the prizes that you could win out of these magazines, and it's like straight up torture. So the guy goes from like Bricc baby size to like dying, like famished, like he was like a normal guy. He had no muscle and no fat on his whole body by the end of this. This is like the craziest, torturous thing I ever seen. I can't even believe that this is legal.
Like me since I've been on.
Not, because you were posting photos of you when you used to be a chubba-lub, and I was like, damn, Shorty was fine back then. No.
She was thick?
No, it was different. It was actually a different vibe. It was like a Conrad vibe. It was like a big mother effer who just, just looking like hella like you could just pound that, I'm trying to think of who.
Yo, Rad, he wants to pound
sus. Okay. I am not a bussy man. I am not the bussy man. No, wait. Who am I trying to think of in my head, though, that you looked like when I was looking at those photos? I'm just thinking of
Ruby Rose?
No, like a fat dude. Like a real fat dude. I can't remember, honestly. But how you guys doing? What's going on?
Man.
Taking my hair out while we're on.
Yeah, what are you? Oh, you're taking out the
crades.
Yeah. Are you going to be like just unraveling it the whole time, or are you just taking out the end?
Not just the end. I won't do that to you.
That would be a lot. I don't know what it would even be like, because I'm not like a guy who's ever had dreads.
Nah, it'd be all right.
Wow. Okay, so we have joined together today to have a conversation, perhaps one of the most anticipated conversations in the history of podcasting.
By a significant margin.
By a significant margin. It's Adam 22, it's Bricc Baby, and it's Lush Uno.
Yeah.
And we've come together. A lot of people seem to think that No Jumper is done for, that all of this content is over. I beg to differ. In fact, I think we're better than ever.
I feel like this is a narrative that pops up every 6 months or anytime there's a significant change to the programming. The initial shockwave of a narrative is it's a wrap. And that has been like that for a long time. Anytime people don't like change, people don't like what they're, you know what I mean? Like they become accustomed to something, they become infatuated with it, and then at a certain point, they become dependent on it.
Because No Jumper had millions of subscribers when it was just me doing interviews, and then we start doing the No Jumper show one time a week for like an hour. And like then we start doing multiple shows, stuff starts, expanding, but it's like we had millions of subscribers from just the interviews.
What are you talking about? We made you, Adam.
What are you talking about? So all this now, though, I could take back whatever the heck I want. But you know what? All right. This is the ultimate example of how you can't control the narrative at all, because before this happened, I remember thinking like, how am I going to put this out there in such a way that the narrative doesn't become Adam fired all the hosts?
Well,
and I realized very quickly that's just not possible.
But
there's no way.
You did, and I mentioned several times, like Adam specifically made note of the fact that nobody is fired. It just obviously that got glanced over, you know. But also like from, and I could be tripping, but from where I'm standing, it seemed like it wasn't a very like, I don't want to say well thought out, but it wasn't a long thought out decision. I feel like
it was only a couple of days. I'm gonna be totally honest.
Yeah. With you. So you didn't like have a press release. You didn't have a whole.
Let me just make this point before I answer that. But like I was talking to Vlad. Vlad stopped doing the website part of VladTV.com, which for real hardcore Vlad fans will know. That was a very, very big part of his business and of his brand for a long time.
It's the only website I went to for like a fat minute.
Right. It was like the other World Star at a certain point, and it was like a little bit less commodified than World Star.
It replaced significantly less commodified.
And there's tons of like historic stuff that happened because of the blog. Like the fact that Joe Budden doesn't get along with Vlad still is directly because of stuff that Vlad posted on the blog when having a blog was like a really big deal.
Right.
And Vlad has told me the numbers
and all the ransom drama
that they used to pull in from the blog was like very significant at one point. Like at one point that stuff that was way more significant than YouTube to them.
Yeah.
I say all that to say that Vlad told me that they got rid of like the news. So if you go to VladTV.com now, you just see his interviews posted, right? He told me that he was really racking his brain trying to figure out how he was going to announce that to the world, but he ultimately decided that there was no way for him to announce that they weren't doing the blog anymore without it sounding like he just wasn't doing interviews anymore, because blogs are so irrelevant at this point that most people, they hear like, oh, Vlad TV is shutting down. They're going to think that the whole thing is shutting down. So he didn't even make the announcement, which I think was smart, because I agree with him that he probably wouldn't have been able to announce it in a way that
and now guess what?
Give people the wrong idea.
And now it's at a point, I went from that being my number one source of news, literally. Like I'm checking Vlad's website before DX, before there's no other hip hop site I'm checking at that point. World Star's been out the window since, you know, RIPQ, you know what I mean? And several changes in management and several.
What year did he do it? Sorry.
Did he what?
Did he shut down
this year, like a couple months ago?
That's what I'm saying. So by the time that shit was shut down, it was already, I didn't even know till you just said it.
Right.
Because that whole thing, that whole medium of consuming news is completely irrelevant at this point. No one's going to any website for news.
Right. It's we tried it. And even with our relatively significant fan base, it was not great.
But the No Jumper News Instagram, just like it's so funny how many people get their news from No Jumper News, or
Mark McGrath, for instance.
Mark McGrath. Shouts to
Mark McGrath.
Mark McGrath.
Every morning there's a halo hanging on the corner of the block where I slang my cane.
Our friends, we're cool.
Yeah, that's my guy right there.
I want to just hang out with him and just do random stuff. It sucks that he's older than me, so our kids don't line up in age at all. I think he said his kids are like 14.
Oh, well, we'll kick it.
Yeah, but you can't bring like a 3-year-old to hang out with a 14-year-old. You got 14-year-olds, so it makes sense for you. Yeah. Dude, but like, okay, in terms of like getting complex narratives off, like even this donation, which guys, by the way, we're going to be reading all the donations and everything, as well as listening to your music in the stream after this. But Adam, you said you wanted to do more higher profile interviews. So it just starts with something I didn't say, but then in the interview you did with Ack, you said you wanted to do more underground artists. So which is it? Still just astonishing. They just make shit up. They just say whatever, and then they try to say it's contradictory with other things that I said that I actually did say. The first part is not even true.
I would love to be able to disagree with you right now, because people have been saying like, oh, like that I'm just agreeing with everything you're saying, which I don't do, by the way. Like, which I've always I'll push back.
That's always when we get a new cast. They did me like that. They said that I'm Adam's dick sucker too.
Right. So, but like
they said that.
If anything, I was the only person that would actually challenge your opinions, and not the only person, but I was one of the only for a significant amount of time. But aside from that, Adam never said higher profile interviews. What he said was, I want to focus more on interviews. Simply that. Never said high profile. Now let's be honest. At the end of the day, when one of y'all, and this is a blanket statement literally directed at the entire hip hop media, so if it applies, then y'all gonna feel it. break an artist like XXXTentacion with the interview. Break an artist like Juice WRLD with the interview. Break an artist like Draco.
But that's exactly why I would never say that I don't want to do underground interviews or whatever. That's my whole thing. That's like my favorite thing. And people don't understand that is that I did a Vaughn off 1700 interview yesterday.
Yeah.
Or it came out yesterday. There literally might not be an interview that I would rather do at this point in my life than that one.
There you go.
Like that to me, like he's cracking. He got Chicago going nuts.
There's underground, high profile interviews too. There's still high profile people in the underground.
Bro, look at 16 did an interview with No Limit Cairo,
right.
and got like, I don't know, 20 million views from all those clips or whatever. That's a dude that nobody besides like directly inside Chicago was thinking about, and he literally became like damn near a star from that. And it was all just because he had the right story to tell. And I look at that like 16, like I want to do interviews like that. Like I want to do the shit where you find something that's lurking right beneath the surface who has like an amazing story to tell, and you get that motherfucker and he really breaks it down. That's what I like.
What if I
like Vaughn, like Skrilla, like Lefty Gunplay,
what if I opened up to all the betrayal and all the shit that I've been through? Like finally stop hiding all the shit that I hide in the industry and have a tell all with you.
I would like to hear you lay that out, because sometimes I hear you talk to me about a lot of stuff, but then sometimes we talk about stuff on the podcast and you'd be like, kind of like de-emphasizing stuff that we talked about privately, and I don't know exactly what the true thing is.
The true thing is, like, if I say it online, it's like, oh, he's just sour because you know what I mean? He's not a part of what's going on right now. So it's just like, you know what? I don't want the hater. But I think I'm doing what? I think we should do it.
So you want to be the Cairo to Herbo, but for Pee Wee Longway and I don't know.
Oh, me and Longway still locked in. We had some turbulence. It's some people.
Are you going to tell us he didn't really drop the pint in the Vice documentary?
Nah, he
definitely dropped
that. Was real?
He also did that goofy ass shit one time. We was going inside of a club, dropped the whole pint, busted it all the way to the club. Like it was terrible. But it's more like the, little Callies and
Fools that have done.
Cali. You talking about little California stuff or?
Nah. Like the shit with me and little babies and the behind the scenes between the OTF, like all our little shit that we talk about.
Well, hey, let me just say,
I want to see that.
When a rapper and a gang member comes on No Jumper, a lot of times a dude will go from like respected to, I'm not gonna say not respected, but for sure it puts you under the microscope, so that like certain people maybe come out of this thing not necessarily being perceived the same way that they were once perceived.
Yeah, it could happen. I mean, like you're crossing that threshold of just having conversation about things that are traditionally frowned upon in the context of the street. So you're already, but at the same time, like interviews that's what makes people fall in love with artists.
But people get to see on No Jumper how you handle conflict in real time under pressure with like no censorship.
Yeah.
So like sometimes people will look at how shit goes and they end up feeling a different kind of way. I feel like it's kind of obvious that I'm kind of alluding to DW with this whole thing, because I feel like he's somebody who came on here and it ended up just throwing him for a loop.
Before we get there, can I take a piss? Can I take it?
For sure.
Yeah, because I know that I have to be here for that, and I was about to sneak off
for sure. And I'm not trying to say that anything traumatic happened to him. I'm just saying there's certainly the possibility.
He's calling the kill squad.
The kill squad will be called. Brick's gonna go let his little tinkle out. He could have done this 10 minutes ago. It's okay. We understand. Get your meat out. Get your meat out, cuz.
Tinkle, tinkle.
Tinkle, tinkle. Brick baby sprinkles. What do you got that we could talk about for like 2 minutes before he gets back?
Man, so much has been going on.
Because listen, to me, this podcast is probably gonna have like two primary sections, which is like recent drama / the DW thing, and then Compa Raiders / whatever the hell you got going on, because that's a whole. I have many questions,
and I'm here.
And then we have like actual topics as well,
right? Of course.
So there's a lot to talk about today. We're definitely going to be in here.
But what I'm curious about is what high-profile artists people have an expectation of you interviewing, because like when you look at the Drakes and Kendricks of the world, they don't really do media, period.
Right.
And if they do, it's literally through a publicist, through an album promotion run, and they might do, like, I don't even know about now, but the Breakfast Club or this or that. They're not doing podcasts.
Right.
Or any, like, nature. So who are they expecting? Do they want to see you interview? They want to see you be like Aiden Ross and trick off $1 million to Playboy Cardi? No, but come and say 3 ad-libs in the microphone and walk out with the thong on?
But there's a model that, like, I feel like a decent amount of people, like, probably expect. Like, they would consider me a success if podcast-wise this was, like, Flagrant or Theo Vaughn or one of these podcasts that, like, really only gets guests that are, like, really big that will get you a lot more.
Theo Vaughn interviews carnival workers, bro.
Does he?
Yes. He literally,
like, lately?
Yes, bro. His most recent episode, I think it was not this week, but the previous week, is Theo Vaughn interviewing a carny from the Northeast.
Okay, well, I'm guessing that it would be a pretty viral carny. But, you know, like,
the fools didn't know who that was.
But Theo Vaughn will get, like, a Drewski interview, and then that will become, you know, like, I'm good. Like, that'll be, you know, maybe he'll get like a couple 100,000 or 500,000. I don't know exactly, but like then he'll have Drewski on and he'll get like 2 million.
Right.
A lot of people look at us like that's what we need to be doing is consistently getting like the biggest names, which, listen, I do like doing some of that.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to sit around on my fucking laurels and just wait around for people that are like huge stars to do the podcast, because it personally, my taste, and you know this just like I know this, is that my dick gets harder, which again, you know about how hard my dick gets, for a Skrilla, for a King Von,
1,000%.
a Von off 1700, also King Von. But like, you know, that's the kind of shit that I'm into. I'm not into the most mainstream shit. If anything, I have to hold myself back because there's so many like really microscopic threads of shit that's going on in hip hop that I would like to do content about that realistically doesn't translate into that many views. Like, I'm going to go, for example, Don Stacks. Don Stacks is the dude who did the 6ix9ine Hassan Campbell Whack 100 episode, and he said the thing about this the only rat we jacking.
Yeah.
To me, I was geeked to do that interview.
Right.
And like to a lot of people, that's like a L. It's like, oh, you want to talk to this dude who's not even that man. It's like, no, I knew that guy was going to have a very, very fascinating perspective into how that whole shit went down. Exactly. And I was right. And it was a fucking super good interview. I'm like disconnected from how many views shit gets a lot of times. Like the channel as a whole for sure. But like in terms of like a piece of content like that, like I'm doing that for the people who give a fuck about that shit.
It's worth more to the core crowd that we have here at No Jumper.
Right. Because when we talk about rappers.
Yeah, we have them invested in the shit.
Do we talk about Drake and Kendrick? Sure. But we talk about some fucking obscure ass shit. We talk about people that are so small that realistically we wouldn't even have them on the podcast.
Yeah.
You know?
1,000%.
That's kind of like the whole thing.
And if you want to see us reference them, check out the music streams, because sometimes in between donations, we be playing that.
This is true, yeah.
So log in.
That's a fact.
A fact. I got an underground drill rapper coming next week. I think he signed to Jim Jones.
What's his name? He has drill rappers now?
Yeah, they were pushing fools last year when we did the interview with them.
Well, like Jewels is what, cousins with the Sugar Hill D-Dot and all them or something?
Didn't he say Osama too? Like it was like
but I didn't know that Jim Jones was like signing fools. So that's interesting.
I think of everyone in New York from that era that is maintaining in the industry, they're all putting on new.
You gotta go grab the youth. That's how you stay young. I mean, you know that. You're always looking out. Let me say it the right way, but for the youth.
But I'll be surprised
in the rap world. Right. I was about to say you always looking out for the youth, but
I'll be surprised if like just because like Jim Jones, like I feel like so much comes with signing a young drill rapper that it's just like, I don't know. I'm kind of surprised that he would want to introduce that turbulence into his life, because like, for instance, somebody that I've discussed, I love Treyway blank K.
For sure.
Now listen. Besides the shit he be saying about the other side where he's from,
he's a dope ass rapper.
But bro, I heard a song on fucking Swamp Stories' his Instagram story the other day where he's going crazy on Pop Smoke's whole hood. And when I'm in New York, I be kicking with the Chos, because that's their the enemies and shit. I was just like, yo, what the fuck, bro? Like, that's the kind of energy that I don't think I need to be around.
But look, dude.
This ain't the neighborhood, little baby. This the whole.
Yeah, but okay, but this your actual enemies. He's dissing a hood in New York just literally because somebody that he knows killed a famous rapper from that fucking hood. Like, just picking up any beef he can. I'm gonna beat
allegedly his little brother.
Yeah, his little brother.
He's invested in the beef without even being invested in the beef.
Yeah,
and you know how we are. We gangbangers.
Yeah.
Down one on will. We disrespectful. It's like,
and I respect it, but that's just like a level of disrespect that, when I look at my life and how I want to spend my 40s, like, do I want to really like be focused on that? I don't know.
But bro, this is Jim Jones. This is from 9 Trade Jim Jones. Like, fools know what time it is. Like,
he's a demon. Yeah.
Violate him. Violate him. What did that call? Alleged.
Super violate him.
Super violate him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We heard him okaying a murder on the phone. Yeah.
This is the only dude that we know that has got 6ix9ine touched.
That's Jimmy.
Besides the people.
But the context of that phone call wasn't him getting him touched. It was just him kind of agreeing, like,
Jimmy,
that's what you got to do.
Yeah, free Jimmy. He never did nothing wrong.
He didn't do nothing. Let me not talk like that.
But no, that's the most basic rules of gangbanging is that somebody like that got to get touched.
But well, I'm just saying, and if there's somebody that was openly pressing that line, like you said, that's a Billboard #1 artist and as successful as that dude is, yeah. So I don't really feel like if anyone's gonna sign a drill artist to be Jim Jones makes sense. Yeah, okay. If it was Q-Tip, I might be like, I don't know about this one tip. You might want to like, you feel me? Just like enjoy them Tribe Called Quest royalty checks and sit this one out.
I'm just saying, like, if I was Jim Jones, I might want to sit it out because I feel like being me, I want to sit it out. But like Jim Jones is way more in the shit. But he don't want to sit it out. It's good. Anyway, let's talk about this. So DW seemed to take more offense to recent changes with No Jumper than essentially anybody else. He blamed it on the fact that he said he didn't get a phone call. I told him I did call him, and I have it in my call log still that I tried to call him. But he definitely took it more personal, the recent changes in terms of No Jumper, than other people. And he went on Instagram Live, and he made a couple of different statements. And I realized that some of these statements have, caused quite a bit of commotion within our fan base and our culture, our universe out here. And so the two main first statements that he made is, number one, he said some stuff about Adam, you don't want to pay a black man his money because he got shot at No Jumper, yada, yada, which that to me was very concerning because I know what DW knows, and I know that DW, just like every single other person in this office, knows that nobody got shot in No Jumper. So that right there made me think maybe I kind of misjudged you because it really didn't take a lot for you to come on here and start lying.
Yeah.
And you guys know. And I would not sit here and point at you and say, you guys know. But you know that what I'm saying is true and that nobody got shot at No Jumper. So to see somebody like very quickly decide that they want to start pushing the narrative that somebody did get shot at No Jumper, I'm like, that's weird. That's very surprising to me. I didn't think that you would do that. And I don't think that many people are really going for it. But there was another statement he made, which we can get into in the future, but there was another statement he made basically bragging about how he was accepting money from people to appear on No Jumper, and he seemed very proud of this. And he deleted it soon after, possibly because he might have kind of realized that this was essentially like him admitting to stealing, bragging about stealing. I thought it was like a weird thing for him to be so triumphant about, but I understand that this kind of...
Shouts to that embezzlement flex. Let's get it.
I mean, I was impressed. I was like, wow, I didn't see either of these statements coming.
Yo, wait.
That was a little surprising.
So how is...
I'm sorry.
That's what I'm saying. When you leave and you get to speaking on stuff that you think is just a side play and shit that's going on, you don't know how that's fucking up your life in the long run. You get what I'm trying to tell you? Like him
trying to get them clips off.
Just getting the clips off, and it's like, damn. If Adam really wanted to do some bullshit to me right now, like you really can, you get what I'm saying.
Do we think he was like serious? Like, is it possible that?
I mean, do you believe that anyone would spend $5,000 to go on his podcast? I don't know. It's kind of like it depends on how much money that person had.
You know what? If they're like, so I could see for sure people being down for that. Just because like if this
5,000.
I can't say it for a specific number, but I know that people are like they want that No Jumper clout so bad. And if all it took was as an investment, like hell yeah, 5 seems a little bit high. You know what I mean? Like if you spend 5 G's, I would, me personally, if I'm like a company, I'd want to get a couple million impressions off that.
But you already know that he's not going to say the actual amount that he got.
Yeah.
He's going to take the actual amount that he got from somebody to appear on the podcast, and he's going to multiply it by 4 or 5.
Or 10.
Realistically, maybe 10. We don't know. Because, look, it is an easy setup. And, like, this reminds me of a conversation I had with my poker coach recently, bbzpoker.com. He mentioned to me how he runs, like, staking business, right? So if, like, you're good at playing poker, but you don't got enough money, he'll give you 10 grand, he'll give you 20 grand, whatever. You play poker using his money, and if you make money, then he gets a split of it. If you lose money, then you're in debt, whatever.
So he's a futuristic bookie accommodating the needs of the time.
Exactly. But then he also coaches these people, helps make them better, whatever. They have a cool relationship, and he's been doing this for a long time. And in the early days,
his name Adam?
No, his name's Jordan. Okay. And in the early days of his business, he told me that a lot of people would run off on him. Like they would just run up a bill, not pay him, etc. And he said that they would, like, that he can't, in retrospect, blame them for doing that, because he created an environment in which there was so little bookkeeping going on with these people that is basically like, if you create an environment in which it's too easy for somebody to steal, you kind of can't blame them for stealing.
Well, fools run off on a Visa tab all the time. That's a daily occurrence.
What's a Visa tab?
Like I'm saying,
credit card bill.
Yeah, like 15 bands or 20 bands of Visa. Skirt. You feel me? Like 7 years, that shit finna get cleared. Like whatever. Like fuck it. Like just like I'm sure we all know multiple people.
But the thing is that if you, like, the environment that we created with the fucking weekly pods there is like, it was such a free for all. It was such a bring whoever the fuck you want on, that it's like there's no accountability. Like none of us are like chiming in and saying like, hey, that guy that you brought on the podcast sucked. It seemed like he might have been paying you to appear on the podcast, whatever. Like we weren't doing any of that. And as a result, like I kind of almost can't blame him if he was doing that, because
it's genius.
There's just so little accountability that I was a little shocked. But you seemed like you were potentially saying that you felt like what he was doing by bringing those issues to the table was kind of federale-ish.
What I was saying.
Clarify.
Yeah, what I was saying, because police-wise, I wasn't saying nothing about court.
Right, of course, yeah.
The conversation was on fake telling.
Yeah.
Sharp was like, well, Compa passed me the phone and like, is this telling? Is this telling?
Yeah. Right.
So like questionable telling type shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like me.
So for example, if someone else hypothetically was running a similar jug over here, now the attention has been brought to the powers that be. And I'm like, when you leave somewhere and you just get to doing shit like that, you get what I'm saying? And you talk, but you let because at the end I said, you my brother, don't let your emotions get you to talk about shit that ain't it, because it's not true, but then like that could possibly get to some other shit. You get what I'm saying? But in a manner of me not saying like, hey, you a police snitching ass nigga, like nigga put him off, he's a snitch. The conversation was on fake telling. Yeah, but of course people are gonna take that and
they gonna take that. Yeah, so it was like I'm like, can you talk about it?
DW's not stupid, bro. Like he's smart enough to be able to read between the lines. He's been in like the media space long enough.
Like he said everything public record, but it's not, because none of us from the office, we never talked about the situation, period. Whatever the fuck type of situation that happened, whoever did know something, and nobody got shot, but whatever the fuck that was going on, and then for somebody to confirm, like, all right, the security guard up here or something, or say that,
because he was throwing somebody else under the bus right there, which is like, that person was always solid with me, so I never wanted to like put their business out there or talk about anything that was going on with this person. So like the idea of like exposing the circumstances, it's like, that's not cool, because then that person's gonna have a harder time in life, and he didn't do nothing to involve himself in, well, besides the obvious, he didn't do anything to involve himself in this fucking situation. He doesn't deserve to be called out like that. I thought that was kind of lame to like throw his business out there.
Well, obviously he like has a certain level of disdain for him, because just the way he talked about him in that clip, you know what I mean? Like so like,
but this is something I would have brought up in a jokingly manner if he would have been right here, like, damn, cuz you think that you said that was cool, like nigga, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, not saying that you was so when I said snitch, it just automatically clipped. Oh, Bricc Baby's calling them a snitch. Like, nigga, you didn't go to the police and do no weird shit. Like, because in the gang world, that word's so sensitive. You get what I'm saying? I didn't mean to call him a snitch, but I was like, basically, like, that ain't straight. Like,
okay.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
you know what I mean?
Totally at the
understand.
end of the day,
I heard a couple different versions of it though. I heard Bricc Baby is mad that DW exposed the way that people got paid, or like saying that people ain't really getting paid in No Jumper. I heard people saying Bricc Baby is mad because DW exposed the shit about Mustard Man and security or whatever. And I heard people saying Bricc Baby is mad because he snitched on the jug of taking money for interviews, because Bricc Baby is doing that as well.
Listen.
Well,
That's just a theory that a few people hit me with.
Number 1 and 3 are essentially the same thing with a little extra on it. That's
So,
the Parmesan on the fucking, you know.
Bricc Baby is mad because you are leaving. I'm not even mad, first and foremost. I'm not mad. I'm just going back because you said niggas ain't getting no chili up there. Like, you don't know what niggas doing up here.
Yeah, and Bricc specifically said, and that's to reference the second point. Like, Bricc specifically said on the Sharp's pod the other day. Bricc said, like, everybody has their own arrangement. Really, like, I don't know what Bricc makes over here. I don't know. It's not my business. Like, what did Hope say? What you eat don't make me shit.
And what you're getting at right now is you're saying that you have a contract and that he was getting paid per individual piece of content, which, to be totally fair, like, that is kind of like how it goes, is that people come around and we pay them for individual pieces of content. And then at some point, if it becomes obvious, like, oh, we want to have this person on a consistent schedule, I want to be able to rely on them X amount of times per month, et cetera, then we're going to put them on contract. The thing with DW is he didn't really like stick around long enough or really like create that value where I was dying to give him a contract. Because I'm gonna be real with you, like, his podcast, like, I gotta give him credit. He showed up, he did it. P Nice has a lot of potential as a podcaster and shit. I think everybody agrees that P Nice got a future as a podcaster and everything like that. But also, DW was incapable of putting a stop to the swearing in the beginning part of the podcast. I think that he might have been the most consistently demonetized podcaster in the history of No Jumper. Like, literally every single episode.
He has some dope guests, though.
He did. He got some good guests.
Nick Cannon, Justina Valentine.
The ones who didn't pay, exactly. But
Justina Valentine brought 10 racks.
Yeah.
That's from a promo budget.
Nah, but you know what I'm saying? Like, he like, there was just kind of a lack of professional. Like, I can't blame him 100% for getting every single episode demonetized, aside from the fact that, like, he always was a person who had a very hard time not swearing. But then on top of that, it's like the views weren't really like looking too astounding. It kept going down every single month. Like, if he wanted to make a push to like get a contract and be like consistently on the podcast and everything, for sure we could have got to that point, but it would have had to be something that, like, you have to be like kind of bringing an audience to a certain regardless, have developed a fan base that's going to watch on the channel, right?
Like, regardless of that, like, he's been in the industry long enough to know that ultimately you have to have those conversations with upper management and whoever the financial team, which there is in place at No Jumper. You know who to talk to about that. So if you want to get that situation cracking for yourself, or you want to change whatever financial arrangement you have in place, holler at the man. You feel me? You know who to talk to.
And I was just a little,
who pays you.
I was a little insulted because he's talking about motherfuckers ain't getting no chili, rah, rah, rah. And it's like, bro, I'm out. Like, on that podcast, I don't know how many episodes it was. It was probably 10 episodes. Whatever I paid you is what I'm out. Because every single one lost money, like, big, every single one. Like, you know, it's just, it wasn't getting any views, and it was getting demonetized on every single one. So what the fuck are we talking about? Like, you know, this has to make sense for the business as well. Even like breaking even is like a decent outcome. But we weren't doing that. We were like just paying you on the premise that this might start getting more views as time goes by. And, you know, I mean, if he was really that confident, it's like, why don't you just go do it on your own, or do it for like another platform or something? Because, like, if you were really bringing that much value to the platform, then you should probably have all kinds of other options as well, right?
I mean, he low-key, in that same live he did allude to the fact that, like, yo, I'm really, like, podcasting, like, it was cool, like, I enjoyed it, like, ain't really my thing, I gotta get back to this rapping. I'm glad that I was able to shed some light on my boy P Nice, you feel me? Yeah. He can, and I honestly, like, I thought that was dope, ultimately. Yeah. Like, yeah, I do think that DW DW has potential as a podcaster, absolutely. But like, I feel like P Nice seems way more passionate about it, and like he could actually go.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
They say that he had a passion for it before.
Yeah.
So and either
Be Nice already did?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
So I mean, he didn't have a podcast, but I guess him and his brother used to always
Well,
talk
and
about him.
DW did want to, like, I know he had an interest in it because I had DW on my pod last, like, summer. You feel me?
Yeah.
Because that's the homie. It's like, so I had him on the pod, and he was all, like, he had hit me up, like, what's up? Let's do another show. Let's do shows. And I was like, damn, the way my pod, is low-key equipped isn't based at that time on continual guests. So I didn't really know how to, like, you know, make it make sense because it was more just an interview-based podcast at the time.
Yeah.
But him, so it's like he had that interest in it. So like when I saw him land in No Jumper, at first I was juiced. So I was like, hell yeah, DW, like that's exactly what you should do. And like what a better platform for you to be on. But when I saw like the whole, I don't know if crash out's the word, but the perturbance he was exhibiting on the microphone afterwards, and just like the animosity he had towards the
You
situation.
talking about Bad Bitch Gate?
Way after Bad Bitch Gate. Way after Bad Bitch Gate.
When I think about that now, I am like,
Sad Sex Gate.
how did I think that was going to go?
Yeah, it wasn't like you was talking to me. You felt like you were talking to me.
No, but that's
Like,
the thing.
you
Like,
know,
I guess
we
I didn't
talk
know him
crazy.
as well
Yeah,
at that
yeah,
time,
yeah,
so I didn't really like think of it as going the way that it went. Like I didn't know it was going to go like that. But when I think about it now, I'm like, why did I try that one? Like,
Yeah,
that does seem kind of
you
ambitious.
clearly, but I really don't think I didn't take it as. I just saw that as Adam being Adam. Like I don't think there's anyone
Right.
that's ever been a cast member of the No Jumper show that you wouldn't feel.
Because I would have said that to somebody like you, and you would have fucking laughed, and you would have taken that joke.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even
and made another one.
AD would get kind of sensitive about certain things, but even AD would have like worst case scenario would have been like, "Bitch, what you say? You called
Those
me-"
fools
you
would
know?
call those fools would call each other bitch more than people.
That's a
from,
good point, yeah.
More than people from Dallas.
They were very into
literally,
roasting
like,
in general. Yeah.
Like you know the way Dallas fools
That's
and
how
it'd be like
anyway. So.
like you know how fools out there literally talk like hey bitch as like slang, and it's not meant in a disrespectful way.
Yeah.
That's how often those fools on at the end of the week they would
End of the week.
constantly, you feel me, at the end of the day, you know what I'm talking about, like hey, it was a weekly show.
Yo, but like
Probably would've been better.
WEAK.
Yeah, at the end of the week.
But that's not even that funny. Never mind. But that would have been like, it would have been something. Like,
So, and then to address the selling the interviews, right?
right.
I do more paid interviews with me leaving.
When you go to other people's platforms.
Yeah,
Right.
so it's like I barely do interviews by myself in order to sell them. Because I just start trying to neck them, like pause, like take it, you know what I'm saying, do them by myself. So it's like, you know,
But I feel like I kind of got you onto that hustle too, because as soon as you did No Jumper, I remember you talking to me about how you were trying to like get into doing more content or like more shit in general.
Yeah.
And I remember at that time being like, I don't know if No Jumpers like really got room for more hosts right now, but I set you up with Cam Capone.
Yeah.
Okay, was the Cam Capone
Because I told him, I'm
before No
like,
Jumper?
if you go on Cam Capone after No Jumper, it'll like really kind of get you more in the mix. So it'll look like you fucking with a bunch of different shit.
Yeah,
That's
you
what set
did,
you
you
off,
did.
like high key.
Yeah.
I didn't even
Like,
think about that. That's exactly
I remember
what
where
happened.
I was when I had that conversation. I was at Riley Reed's house at a
Fire.
some sort of birthday party thing.
Shouts to one of the goats.
That's
I
crazy.
still beat off to her, yeah.
Yeah,
They said I still beat off
there's
to
still
her,
like
yeah.
she has porno scenes that are like Illmatic by Nas. Like,
Yo, that's funny you say that, because last time I saw Riley Reid, I told her that when I go and jerk off to scenes of her from 10 years ago, that it feels like I'm listening to Metallica.
Yeah, it's like Dr.
And
Dre
she-
2001.
I don't know if she like 100% like knew what I meant by saying Metallica, but I'm saying like, no, that's like all time shit. Like it's not
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
get old.
yeah, yeah.
That's funny that you went right to Illmatic.
Yeah,
That's exactly the
Illmatic,
same
bro.
thing. Yeah.
Classic scenes. Will never go out of
Yeah,
style.
I'm looking her up, man. I don't know. If
Oh, you don't even know who we're talking about?
No.
Oh,
Well, let's get a reaction then.
You know,
That's a wild snow bunny.
Yo,
you know, I'm-
Wild.
I'm like
I clicked it, but I don't see it.
You know,
might have to drag
the
it up
cool
there.
thing about like,
I watch porn. I don't give a fuck who it is. Like when I'm watching porn and I got a bitch with me, it's just like, let's see what bitch is doing.
well, Riley Reid has the whole.
And then you do what she's doing.
She's got the whole.
You do that.
You do
Yeah,
that. Position yourself accordingly.
I always role play when I'm watching porn. I swear to God, we have to be doing the same shit.
She's got the girl next door thing cracking up.
Oh yeah, I think that's
tough.
why
like,
she became
looks super
so big.
innocent.
yeah.
You feel
She
me?
just looks like a fucking 20-year-old.
Like,
Slow dress
like,
is
it could
always
happen.
my favorite.
It looked like it could happen. Like,
Yeah,
you could, like, catch
yes.
it, like, you feel me?
You feel like you could hit.
like this is someone that
She gives you that vibe. Yeah, I feel you. Look at the AI version.
I don't like it as much. I prefer flaws and all.
Yeah, for sure. But okay, like there's another narrative that
These
I
don't
saw.
do her justice, by the way.
Hey, I
She's
seen.
super hot.
He's getting turned up by the AI version.
I'm talking. I was looking at
Just the whole
other
of it,
ones.
yeah. But yo, okay, so the first lady of No Jumper, damn homie.
Yeah.
She's trying to get in the mix. She putting out a narrative saying that you are shook because DW said basically like whatever he said, and then she felt like she was doing the arithmetic for you and saying that you should be offended by whatever he said. She really in the mix. She's telling you to go to your hood. She really
like-
saying things that
like-
you
Gonna be
normally
a
would
good
never
day.
say unless you're a gangbanger.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, so
She's pushing
whoever's feeding
lines.
this bitch the information is like, fuck you at the end of the day.
You don't think she's just a Reddit head? You think she got?
hell
Oh yeah, this
nah.
other dude's trying to hit and they
come
telling her
on,
shit.
bro.
Yeah, but for sure,
She
like
talk about going to the hood on Juneteenth and all that. Man,
yeah, but
shut
this is
your
all
bitch
like,
ass
to
up.
be honest, that's a lot of narratives that are public No Jumper fan shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's
like-
not any like she hasn't said anything that's beyond the scope of No Jumper lore. Maybe the one thing about look, I don't even want to bring attention to it.
Just anything about the hood, period. It's like.
But they be
that ain't
talking about
no-
that. They be
in the
talking.
Reddit?
Yeah, fool.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, right.
Well, there's entire.
I be with the homies all the time on my Instagram, so I'm like trying to figure out like what the fuck are y'all talking
they got
about?
entire. You know, they got like.
do you know I'm not never finna go stand outside on Slauson and Crenshaw? You know how many times I've been shot standing outside? I'm not standing outside nowhere. We'll be at the houses in the hood, all that kicking it. I'm not doing that shit.
Yeah.
It's just kind of
Nigga,
amazing to
the
be
fuck
a
am I
white
finna
girl
just
from
be a
Brooklyn
target?
telling you to do that.
Russia.
Yeah,
From
like,
Russia.
Yeah, like bitch. At the end of the day, I'm like, you come down here on Juneteenth, bitch. Like you saying all the shit to not never come to LA again. I don't know who the fuck she think I am. That's what I'm saying. And then it be like behind the scenes shit. Motherfuckers be calling me trying to calm it down. Like, bro, I don't give a fuck if you can't check that bitch getting her feet whooped.
But see that
In New
energy
York,
right there.
Miami, wherever you at, bitch.
Like
On the
that-
dead Dummies, it can happen to you.
That microscope that you get put under at No Jumper, where you could have like the most random people
Yeah, like,
telling
bitch,
you
man,
that you're a
talking
fucking
about-
bad gangbanger or whatever
Man,
is like that shit is. That's kind of like if we were to write out like a full No Jumper guide to like what it's like to be a host on this platform, it would for sure have to include that of like. This is the shit that is going to happen to you. Like you are
Yeah,
going
for
to have
sure.
people
That
who
needs
try
to
to
be
pull
the
your card, and
employee handbook.
It could be people who have no claim to having an opinion.
But nobody even see that. That's why I'm like, this is my whole shit. Instead of our community seeing that shit, like nobody gives a fuck about a white girl talking about some motherfucking hood shit. Bitch, shut the fuck up.
But it's,
Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, nigga, like, at the end of the day, bitch, you don't know what the fuck I got going on, nigga. Yeah, right now would be the greatest time for me to be. And, nigga, you don't know where I'm going to be on the tip. But at the end of the day, right now is the greatest time for me to go. Every time I go to the hood, the police, nigga, is something going on. That's, nigga.
But that
you
could be-
really don't owe any explanation.
No,
though,
no,
like,
no,
to be
not
honest
to
with
her,
you,
but
like,
what I'm just saying
That could be
is,
a
like,
general.
That's gonna be a big week for you. Hood Day and Juneteenth right after it. You're gonna be all partied out.
technically it's over a week.
Well, we need 100 pack of perks for that shit. We gotta get loaded.
Listen, I don't motherfucking go to
The
no
Hundredty Bye-bye.
motherfucking. Listen, I don't go to no motherfucking Juneteenth festivals, nigga. I don't go to no motherfucking Hood
Lamert's
Day
turned
festivals.
up.
I might
That's
go.
what I was about to say.
Yeah, Lamert's
I
turned
go.
up.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't be giving up my location, but I'm not never going to the main event where the police finna crash at. Catch me later on. You know what I'm saying?
I'll go to Lamar
police-
Park, but I think I need to be about 40 deep.
I think.
No.
I mean, you'll have a good time.
Yeah, but I need
Lamert-
to be well protected.
Lamert
Yeah,
Park is
I just-
cool, but what I'm saying is.
Somebody got shot last year.
I mean,
Remember?
yeah, there's.
It's not funny because I'm saying
No,
Lamert
I'm
Park's
saying,
cool.
no, like, it
You
ain't that
like
cool. Somebody got
get
shot, yeah.
There,
I
like,
mean,
you're,
I'm
you know where
saying
you at over
Lamert
there.
Park, it's a cool area. Juneteenth festivals, I just, I'm just not an outside with a gang of people around type dude.
Yeah.
I got PTSD. I don't like that shit.
I was gonna say that's like definitely some trauma. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't like that shit because I can't see where it's coming from. And neither times that I got shot did I see the person who shot me. I got shot in my back both times.
Really?
So it's like I never see like the gun go off and all that shit. You just hear gunshots and get hit. So like it's a lot of shit like that going on there with loud sounds going on. I'm always like, you know what I'm saying, or making my security,
I feel you.
react. So it's
that
like,
makes perfect sense.
I don't go outside on the 4th of July and I don't go outside on Halloween.
I don't be going outside for shit. I'll go to like an event. I'll go to a party. And even at that, you got to be prepared for whatever's going to happen.
Yeah.
Right.
As far as like just going out, when I see, what gives me so much anxiety is when I watch those fucking car takeovers.
Oh, that'd be wild. Or just like the sideshows up in Oakland.
Yeah, I'm not
so much
trying
fun.
to like that energy, that much chaos in one place. I'm 40 years old.
Yeah, it
I
was a lot
got
of fun
something
back
to
in
live
the day.
for. I don't know about that. Like, I do want to go to that kind of shit just to see it, but like, just the idea of just being out there like lone wolf in that shit, I'm just like, bro, anything could happen to you.
But you're the same dude that be like going to like the straight trenches, interviewing people. Like you have a certain like level.
But it's different when you pull up to the projects and you got security, you're with the right people to be pulling up there with, and nobody knows you're showing up. So like a crowd might kind of gather by the end of it, but that feels like a much safer risk than like just going to this shit where there could be a million different people from a million different places. Anything could happen in that shit.
And even like what you said about not wanting to go out on those specific days, like I feel like that's amateur night. Like for those of us that really turn up and really be outside and just like partying and all that, all the lames are out on Halloween. All the lames are out on New Year's. Bottle service.
The shit I go out to is more like the shit that Adam take me to, and like those are the vibes. Like, well, we only go to those type of party anyway. Like, it got to be one of my partners that I know, a player. We going out like. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did the strip club. Like, I've been doing this shit since I was 17. Like, I met Big Meech when I was 17, bro. I've been partying my whole life. I don't give a fuck about all that shit. And then it's like, to close that out, even anybody speaking on the hood. You see the homies don't speak on me or nothing. Nigga, I'm very tapped in. And I got homeboys, like, what they think? That I'm just going to the hood, but then I don't got homeboys over there, too? Like, nigga, I got people that, nigga, is in debt with me forever. We forever indebted to each other. We done did so much to each other, with each other, nigga, that is, you know what I mean? It's forever locked in. So, like, when people talk about that shit, I just laugh. I'm not here to prove how gangster I am. Just when you come across my path, be ready for it. That's all it is.
For sure. And just to put a cap in it as far as the whole DW topic and shit, I like the guy before he came here. I still like him now. I do feel like things didn't necessarily it didn't go that well. It went okay, but it definitely it was cool podcast wise, but it didn't really, there was a bunch of crazy moments. It was dope. I don't really appreciate the way he went out just because he said some things that I personally felt were like the kind of things that I would have expected him not to necessarily immediately say, especially when I felt like I didn't really provoke it. I guess he wasn't feeling some of the shit that we said on here last week, which I don't really, I think we were probably just laughing about whatever he had to say or whatever, and he probably wasn't feeling
anybody saying anything bad about it.
I didn't think it was that derogatory, but he took it that way. So I apologize if he felt that way and everything, because he showed up, he did his thing. So I got nothing against him. I don't plan on this. I have no beef with him. I just want to make that perfectly clear.
So it's reconcilable as everything.
I think it's reconcilable. I think it's already reconciled unless he's mad about something I said today, because we talked on the phone the other day. And he was being cool about shit.
We've been talking the whole time too.
Okay, and me and P Nice talked, and P Nice was definitely being he's the little brother, right? Or the big brother? I can't remember.
Big brother.
Either way, he's the big brother. All right, he was playing the big brother role for sure, because he was like, I don't like seeing y'all not getting along. If we need to do anything, if we need to hop on the phone, we can work through this. So I appreciate his contribution to that as well. We should definitely keep doing shit with
P Nice. Is definitely strong minded, and he's a good dude. I ain't gonna lie to you, throughout all the shit, and he's very tactical. He's very tactical. if you pay attention to what happened, and I'm not gonna shine any light on whatever, but when he grabbed Wack, he took his knife, whatever that was. I think it was his little knife, his pocket knife that he had on his hip.
Second cell phone?
Yeah, his second cell phone.
Got it.
And pushed it down his pants and pulled it. Like, you got to watch it in slow motion, quick.
Oh, now I will. That's very interesting.
Neo from the Matrix.
You can do it right now if you want. No, that's probably not the right time. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it off camera. I don't give a damn how much I don't like a person. But yeah, nice. I know why they call him P Nice.
He's smooth.
Real smooth with it. I said when I seen it, I said he combative. He really been outside. Like, I pay attention to stuff like that because those is moves.
That's a Navy SEAL type.
Like in prison, our older homies teach us how to defend and take stuff from people. And you know what I mean? Like that was really
a tactical.
I said, ooh. I'm like, he cold, boy. So
you don't think that was fake?
I don't know what
I thought it was. I did.
But not that part.
Yeah, I don't know.
That part was like, that ain't planned out because nobody's shining light on that.
The only thing that made
I'm the only
me
person that's
question if it was real was when I rewatched it and I saw the way that DW looked totally like, didn't feel the need to jump up. He seemed like a little too comfortable with it. And
so did Flacco. That too.
Right?
That right there. Like,
but I would think Flacco wouldn't be in on it.
No, but if Flacco was in on it, you get what I'm saying. But then he got checked in the hallway too. He let somebody do this to him.
Who? Flacco?
No, Wack.
Oh yeah, the conversation was happening. Yeah, because the part that I filmed, you're right. The part that I filmed made it seem way more authentic. You're right. That's a good point.
Because he was like, nigga, don't do that at my show. And he let him do it. And he was like, nigga, this is my shit. And he was like, okay.
I was like, my initial thought was, wow, this is a brilliant ploy to get more traction on the show. And it did. Like, the show did significantly higher numbers. I was like, okay.
The question though is, when you see something like that taking place, obviously in the short term, it's viral, it gets people's attention. In the long run, it does kind of make this place look like a zoo, and it makes it look a little out of control. And you have to kind of balance that. It's like, yes, that might have been a real viral clip, gave everybody a lot of shit to talk about, made $50 on YouTube, as I specified the other day.
Balling.
But then it also,
$25.
the overall vibe of that is like, it's kind of a question, is like, what does that necessarily do to No Jumper? If we have less of that, is that a good thing overall for getting people to come here, or the overall impression of it? I'm not somebody who's normally like super concerned with, oh, we're gonna look unprofessional or we're gonna look so crazy, people are gonna view us this way. Obviously I'm kind of just down for the bullshit normally, but that is something that occurs to me, is like, maybe this is not the best thing in the long run for the overall
reality show coming soon, Life After No Jumper. I'm gonna be the EP. I don't know if you want to be in on it, but I'm gonna
just have at it,
man.
It's gonna be great.
You should have had.
Don't think that it's not gonna do.
Last year, if you had me on there, oh boy, that would have been a doozy.
Oh no, you're on there now. You're on there now.
Yeah, like high key, like it's just like another chapter.
What is the Dude brand?
It's like the homie from Sacktown's got like some brand called the Dude brand, and he like
and then you threw the LW on there.
You feel me?
Who put that on there? Rug cut?
You feel me? He like made these like
it's like a rug. It's like a little mini rug.
It is like, you feel me, like a little wimpy wop. Yeah.
You ordered the 3X.
I can get it. You feel me? These are like these are from like last summer.
I don't want to see you in a 3X.
He ordered the 3X.
That's a 3X?
Nah.
You don't need to wear 3X, right?
Is it? It's probably.
Look how big.
Well, you know what? This probably was
bro.
because I was like way chunkier last summer. I was like probably a good 25, 30 pounds more.
Oh, you got the cocaine butt.
You got the cocaine butt. You feel me?
Ooh, I didn't even realize how custom this was. What's on the other side?
Yeah.
Just a snowflake. Oh, yeah, there we go.
Come on, man.
Okay. I know that people want this update. I started at 230. I'm currently getting very close to 220. So the 22 grind is going.
That's right.
It has not been given up on. Follow Adam22Bro on Snapchat if you want more up to the minute updates.
You do too much
jerking off, having sex,
fucking and shit. Yeah, to do what is the easiest shit. Just starve yourself. You could just
I don't want to live
fast.
like that.
Yeah,
Well,
just fast.
I would have just done Ozempic if I wanted to just starve myself to death.
There's other things
that's what
that'll
I
help
said.
you lose weight,
But you
too.
can't.
I understand you probably do a lot of those things.
You need protein. No, outside of that though, it's like starve yourself, eat spinach and broccoli to fill yourself up. Put a little dressing over it. Eat it real quick till you fill
Spinach.
yourself up.
Spinach does good.
And go throughout the day. Eat one meal. Water yourself out to piss everything and sweat.
Yeah, gotta pee. Okay, my next question though.
Fitness for Bricc, baby.
I don't even know where do you want to take this in terms of this discussion, in terms of Compa Raiders crash out / overall wild behavior over the course of the past week, because it feels like the last week is the most extreme stuff that we've seen from Compa Raider.
I think homie's just out there living life. He's been on a bender, and I think the plane is landing. There's been a couple divergences while the plane was about to land, and then at the last second it decided to stay in the air. And I think pretty soon the plane's gonna land for a minute. Hey, and Raider's the type of dude like this. People really get lost in the persona of Compa Raider and this version of him when this is a successful business owner. This is a family man. This is there's a lot more dynamics to this guy. Now, has he been out there with what I think the number one thing that I've been trying to implore upon him beyond okay, time to land the plane and I'll land it with you.
Yeah.
But the number one thing is do no more meetups with these random fan bitches and that shit is out.
We should definitely talk about that. But
more.
How much of your friendship with him is based upon the fact that I would assume that he's usually got the stuff that you want on any given Saturday afternoon?
That's his fucking coach boyfriend.
I feel like a lot of people are looking at that shit and it's just like, oh, okay, French Montana is out here just doing his thing. And then you guys that might be kind of like the primary tie that binds
Max
in
being
all
French.
of this, you know?
Nah, I feel like them being together has a lot to do with that. But I mean, that's like me having a lean buddy or something, and we were lean buddies up here, or whatever the case is, and we want to go fucking start a mumble podcast together. Like,
He's ready.
Look, me and Rad right now.
The Mumblecast is amazing.
Snapchat that shit.
You're waking up already. I can't do it. But yeah,
To be honest, though,
are you guys real friends or are you just drug
our-
users together?
Our friendship started during sobriety. You know what I mean? And
during when he was going through his brief period where he was trying to stay sober, because when he went to New York with us, it was not the usual Compa Raider. Like, he was just this totally different version of himself, and he was sleeping a lot, which I felt like, his brain is making up for whatever he's missed out on the past few years or months or whatever.
Yeah, and that's the thing, so when we first met, I was completely sober. You know what I mean? Then as our friendship blossomed or whatever, no combs, he was completely sober and was going to the gym 4 times a day. The thing about Raider, he's a super obsessive person. He's very singular minded. When it comes down to, if he wants to get faded, that's where he's focused on. If
The
he wants
homies
to
in
pot,
jail used to
wants
hit the crystal and then just start working out and make you go harder.
Yeah, shit. But then, at a certain point,
at
a certain point, that'll make your heart
explode. That motherfucker 2,000 push-ups.
that shit'll make your heart explode, though. At the same
Yeah,
time,
I don't want to play with that, because even fuck meth, I've taken diet pills in the past.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that shit will have your fucking heart pounding out of your chest. So that is not for 40-year-old men. That shit is for maybe you 20 and you just really into going to the gym and shit. That shit is not it. I've done it a few times in my life. It's not it.
Doing it.
Grampy's old ticker cake, you feel me? Yeah.
I've definitely felt like I was staring down a heart attack when I was taking that shit before.
What's the difference between the little baby rail of Scott or in pre-workout or coffee before fucking shit?
I feel like those diet pills though, they last long. It's got a long
To
half-life.
be honest, there's different effects. with the Scante or with Adderall or whatever, there's more of like a euphoria associated with it. There's more with those. It's just strictly just like you're geeks. You're just alert.
It doesn't really exist to do anything besides make your fucking heart beat faster and burn more fat.
Red Bull and working out is a problem. Like all of that shit is a problem.
Of course.
It's probably not great that in the past when
they don't have Red Bull.
I've sampled these diet pills, but it was like me drinking my usual amount of coffee and then also taking that.
That's what I'm saying.
That probably may have been my mistake. Maybe if I did it without the coffee, it would have gone a little better.
For sure. That coffee is a motherfucker.
Yeah. I can't even.
Because I used to just drink black coffee that I used to work out.
Yeah.
Like that was like my pre-workout. Like I guess because somebody described the feeling of pre-workout. I'm like, why you just don't take a shot of coffee?
It's just like pre-workout literally like makes like pause. It makes my fucking asshole itch. Like it just like literally like it just makes me like I don't know what the fuck it does. It makes me and the only way to quell it is to
poppers.
It's just like doing is
dilate that shit.
I don't know what the fuck, bro. Like
your
that
asshole
like
itches.
that,
So do you like grind your asshole and like a tree?
There's no cure except for pumping iron, bro.
No, you get toilet paper and then you start just sort of tickling your own butthole. Like
there's no cure for it.
No, listen. You have to scratch your asshole if it's itching. There's no way you can walk around with an itchy asshole without scratching it.
Words from the Bricc, baby. You heard it here first.
But I don't know if I've ever had my asshole itching so bad that it needed to be like
no,
itch, like actual finger contact to the outside.
You get a back scratcher.
Hold on. Mr. Wipe 3 times. I don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why my shit don't itch.
Yeah, because you're used to it.
Because I've already gotten it all worked in.
You got IAS, itchy asshole syndrome.
Okay, but let me ask you this. As long as we're talking about the Compa radar thing, there's other videos, and Wack is basically like taking claim for it, saying that he set him up and that the girl who filmed it is an agent of him or whatever. I don't know how true that is.
Yeah, I don't know about that either.
But either way, like, what the fuck is he doing that he ends up in this position in the first place?
I think that like bro is literally just on a sick one, was just hollering at bitches on Instagram. You feel me? Like what's cracking? And he's like bitches are down to fuck, so he's just knocking down hoes. It is what it is. Who knows if that bitch domed him up before or after?
But he gotta watch out though, because
1000%.
we can have a catfish profile and call. I lost a homeboy due to that. Like,
that's what I'm saying. The catfishing shit is no joke.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even gotta talk about it, but like, yeah, I lost the homeboy due to that right there.
Yo, but somebody sent me a link to the girl that allegedly filmed that, Sophie.
Yeah. I'm the one I discovered. Basically, I looked through this fool's phone and I figured out who it was. Some random ass.
Okay, but the person who sent this to me is basically saying that her profile yesterday said West Los Angeles.
Right.
And her profile now says North Hollywood High School, 17.
Oh, see, like that's very.
I mean, if that's like, what the fuck is that? What kind of games are we playing here?
Like that's some tricky moves right there.
2017.
Oh, class of 17.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
don't know. I don't know. That's a strange arc.
No,
that's just like some like trying to preserve.
She hood hopping. But,
yeah. First you from the west side, you feel.
First you from classes 2022, now you classes 2017.
No, because she's probably had the most profile visits that she ever had in
the confusing thing about the screenshots that I was sent.
All of the shit. So instead of saying like I'm from West LA, I'm from North Hollywood.
Well,
like let's
but this person is a plant that's trying to like expose him, right?
Yeah, well here's the thing. Who really is from West LA? Me. So I figured out who the fuck this bitch was. You feel me? We call her live on the podcast. I'm like, but first we try to call from Raiders' phone.
And he was being serious that he was so fucked up that he couldn't figure out who it was that filmed him in that car. That's scary.
He had no idea.
Someone with ops should not be doing that.
Yeah.
That's messy.
That's what I'm trying to tell you straight up.
Someone that's as important as he is, is as successful, that makes money like him. Like he knows, and I don't think moving forward he's going to be continuing to get down like that. You know what I mean?
Bro,
Like,
that's crazy, bro.
but he also, this is a dude that,
but I mean,
he don't have any fear in his heart. Like, he really don't give a fuck.
He probably picked up a prostitute. Man, he probably picked up a 304 and was trying to get something cracking. Like, listen, he's on a bender. He trying to get off. He don't want nobody to know. Shit, pick up a hoe real quick.
Well, so like, and who knows? Like,
what's wrong with that?
Like, but yeah, regardless.
Not
there's nothing wrong with getting a prostitute.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with getting caught slipping.
But what if she's hiding, recording? He don't know what bitch did that.
Yeah, like
he probably's always in his backseat with his dick out.
He was, yeah, okay.
Yeah, like come on, bro. He was comfortable back there.
Full up. You feel me? She could have just. We don't know.
Well, she's asking him about him saying he was going to impregnate her. So if he had just blown a nut, then he's probably not going to be thinking he's got like another, like a baby making nut stored up. Like, what does he have? Multiple like sphincters inside his body. He's got like another nut ready to go.
I didn't say that he nutted off. I just said that she might have been dumbing him up. You feel me? Like, it might not have been to completion.
He might have another nut ready to go.
When you on real drugs,
you can run it back.
You're going to just get top. You're not going to nut.
Yeah, but you could also spin the block after you nut. Like, if you're used to the Yoskis like that, you feel me? Like, get it out like that.
Yeah,
like, what's up with it? Dome me up again, bitch. Like, like smoke a blood, then get some head. Like,
okay, have you ever been off of an E-pill and it's like take you a long time to nut, so you start thinking about like some other type shit?
Do you think about every sexual experience you've ever had in your life? Yes.
Yeah, like the top three.
So you're masturbating in the pussy.
4 that I masturbate to.
Right. But even in general, if you've been fucking a girl for 20 minutes and you feel like she's kind of like over it and like she's ready for you to finish, your brain will start going through every attractive thing that you could possibly think of.
That's human nature.
I swear to God, it's like that. You get to closing your eyes and shit. Like, shut up.
You motherfuckers act like y'all having tantric sex and you're all breathing in unison. Nah, fool. You thinking about like some porn you seen while you're hitting it. Like,
one thing I know I'll be bad at porn.
Think about this bitch.
Because when the bitch talks to me crazy while we're fucking, I'm a sucker for that. It's coming out. As soon as you start talking crazy.
Define talking crazy.
Fuck up. Anything. Moaning loud, like, anything. Come on my face. Come on my face is like
that's a good one.
Those words will do it.
Yeah, like I want you to be in my face. Like,
you know, you're right though that in the normal civilian realm, that is the hottest thing ever. In the porn world, I'm so used to hearing it. It's just acting.
That's part of the course.
Yeah. But it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever, it's certain trigger words where it's like, all right. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
like,
it's easy to understand why a girl would want nut on her face if the whole point is to make this as sketchy as possible, like to make it as hot and as deviant as possible. But as far as a girl wanting you to do that in just your day to day, it is like,
I had phone sex for 4 years. I had phone sex for 4 years, so it was like, it's like trigger words like on the phone where it's like, Now you just like you take your cover to the phone. Everybody takes their cover to the phone every time. So therefore, you never know when. You get what I'm saying? I can't give up on the game. You know what I'm saying? On the phone. You know what I'm saying? But you got to go this way. You can't go this way.
Yeah. But this is my thing. That's hilarious. When it comes to the Compa thing, like I like him a lot as a person. I feel like I still have yet to really see him deliver like an outstanding performance as a podcaster. And I'm very open to like what his best performance might have been in the past. But I feel like most of the times when I've had him on camera, he's either been like too fucked up, like too up, too low, like the whatever he's on is like clearly kind of like wearing off. And then like there's just been a lot of crashing out. Like I saw him trying to fight random guys in the studio that you guys film at.
Yeah.
That was confusing.
They weren't random. Just bring something to the table.
He's claiming that Lush is such a glutton for dabs that he was willing to kick it with like almost anybody. Which I don't think of you as like a dab abuser.
I hit one dab in the past several years. Like,
but I mean, dabs are pretty dope. Like I could see myself kicking it with somebody for the dabs.
It was off the bubble, but they had to use the code word dab.
No, literally,
he's not really dab.
He was literally
they were
hell no, fool.
Because I was thinking that, I'm like, he's not really the dab man.
No. And I'm not like I don't
different kind of rail.
I'm not even scontaed up. Like I'm like, have I played with some powder? Yeah, but I'm not like doing no Chris. Like right now, like
you got
nowadays. Yeah, can I?
Yeah.
Where's it at? No, like the thing is, I think Raider's greatest strength as a podcaster is something that can't be taught and can't be improved on, and that's just his personality. You know what I mean? And he is really likable. And when he bounces off certain people, you know what I'm saying? Like there's certain content he's done with you that's dope, and like when him and I are together, we like have this really, I feel like, cool dynamic that works. And he's willing to improve in a sober Raider. Actually, like I'll point to like the Phoenix Flexin episode of On a Sick One, like for like this is so like I mean it was Adderall Raider, but Adderall Raider was relatively coherent, on point. You know what I mean? Like knew when to make jokes, knew when to dial it back when it was excessive.
So
like,
you don't feel like, because we kind of seen like some behavior in the Reddit clips and shit that just sort of made me feel like, oh, Lush is kind of like receiving the bad end of this stick. Like he's kind of like, it was almost like he was kind of taking out some like anger on you and shit. And just in general, like just to even keep it on just the podcast conversation, it does, like I don't know, like I like the idea of him being a podcast host and stuff, but I haven't really, as many times as he's been on camera, I haven't really seen a performance that I was like, oh, that guy's got it. Now, being a cool guy
last night,
being around, being friends, I obviously am grateful for him, like brokering the fucking American Cholo truce and everything like that. I fuck with that. But like even the music stream that we did last time, like I don't know if it's still visible for everybody and shit. It's gone now.
Yeah.
I mean,
he has a skit personality.
He was here and he was like, I don't know, there's like so many conversations that we're kind of trying to have, and then he'll sort of like, he's not like 100% paying attention, so he'll kind of just be like, would you fuck, bro? Like, hey, would you fuck? And it's kind of like, bro, like we're trying to get deep on these topics and it feels like you're not even like 100% here. You're kind of like, just like barely paying attention, and like your contribution podcast wise is not really like reflective of you really being here and being one with the conversation, which that to me is a huge thing. Is like, if I feel like you're not like fully locked in on this conversation, it's not going to work.
Someone has to be present, essentially.
You got to be present.
Yeah,
we should be fighting for mic time.
Flacco Sharp and I streamed late last night, like at 12. We had Flock outside from 12 to 2 in the morning. But I said,
no more news. Everybody can stay out late.
A shorter version of what you just said is what I said about Compa. I'm like, not to be, because they were like, well, who else were you talking about? Because I was like, some people were getting paid to say 35 words on the news, or in return, they every time that they do say something, they're off subject, and like their main attraction on the news was to see them geeked up. And I was talking about Compa, like, you know what I'm saying? Your greatest clips is you boxing.
To be fair, that is an incredible clip.
Yeah, it's one of your greatest clips, but it's like you don't have a viral take on subject. I mean, yeah,
because that's what this shit is really about. Like, listen, like the crazy crash out shit, the crazy shit where you see two people like damn near about to fight and stuff. Like, yes, we will get those clips and we will do whatever we can with them to get as many views as possible from that type of shit when it does happen. But if that's the sole source of content that is kind of coming around because of that, is because of random fights and stuff, like, listen, I understand the appeal of that.
Right.
It's just like, do we want the No Jumper News thing to be
I was
that?
talking about him sparring.
No, I know, but even like the damn homie thing, like the damn homie thing was an entertaining ass week. Yeah, but what are we gonna do? We're gonna run that back forever and just torture the fuck out of Sharp and just be like, listen, you gotta listen to this girl and say shit about you forever. Like, like even the fact that she was like kind of able to do that on like multiple news episodes in a row and stuff, to me was kind of like, damn, I'm surprised that somebody involved in the news didn't like pull the plug on that a little bit earlier.
But the thing is, like, people get rewarded for that type of behavior when it does views, when it does numbers, when there's traction behind it. It's like, oh, okay. And here's a crazy thing,
that's the most viral shit that ever happened to her.
But that's what I'm saying though. Like so, like Raider is very willing to learn and improve, and I do believe, like I see it in him. You know what I'm saying? Like, has that moment occurred? Maybe not yet. And the fact that he's has been on a bender and not presented his best self, and is still at least like stimulating this much conversation.
But I feel like I would be able to. I would be able to offer an actual opinion on Compa Raider as a podcaster if he goes to rehab for a month. I feel like I'm not going to be able to like trust whatever my version of him is, because if I watch him do a dope episode, or if he comes on for a good hour of the stream or whatever, I'm still going to feel like, oh, we just caught him on a good one. Yeah. Versus like the majority of the time where it might not be as good. But in general, like the take thing, like what he said,
baby alien's dick.
If you can come on here, like besides the conflict and everything, if you can come on here and like we're talking about a topic and you have a fucking killer take on that topic, to me that is the proving ground. That's like having an ill verse as a rapper.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's like making a banger song. If you could come in here and say like, and this shit happens with people who are not even like big podcasters or whatever. They could become big overnight. Chris J. Jekin from Pop Austin Media, which I understand that he's like essentially split from Pop Austin Media or whatever. But like he had a take on he was talking about the fucking what was it, the war in Memphis or some shit. He's talking about Big Juke. He's talking about Yo Gotti, Dolph, all this shit. And like he broke down the street stuff. Oh no, it was the fucking the little baby 21, Young Nudie, all that fucking shit.
ATL.
He's breaking down all that shit, and like that shit went far and wide. He got on a million different pages from just having one good breakdown of some street shit.
Yeah,
or come in here and
talk
about the fucking Drake diss and come with a take that will get clipped and will get put on other meme pages and shit like that. Yeah. I'm not saying that's the only way to be a great podcaster, but that is like the kind of thing that really, okay, we're observing this fool. He did the same thing to Sharp. People saying that I fucking set Sharp up, that I told AJ to come in and give him a critique or whatever. That is ridiculous, for the record. He's a fucking podcast critic. Like, that's the whole thing they do on their podcast.
He's roasted everybody.
Exactly. He said crazy shit about me. Yeah. He probably said crazy shit about you guys. He's had super harsh takes on Back on Fig and other things, which has kind of come to light over the past couple of weeks, or the last week. But the idea that I like sent him in to say some shit to Sharp is like crazy. I didn't tell him to go say some shit to the other guy either. Like, these dudes like critique podcasts. That's their thing. Them going on the news is obvious. I didn't even know he was going to be on an episode with Sharp. I just said to Josh, like, get this fool on an episode.
Right. Yeah. And you gave him props for just creating a moment, not for specifically getting on Sharp's helmet. You know what I mean? Like,
I just put him on the news because I think what they're doing is dope. Joe Budden put him on his shit too. Yeah. But it's the exact same thing because he went on AJ and his co-host, they went on AD's shit and then they went on the Apollo. And then while they were on the Apollo, T-Rel called the Apollo guys and basically told AJ and all them to suck his dick and fuck your mama and all this shit. That's what T-Rel said to him. Yeah. And it was because T-Rel had heard a clip in which those dudes called Heather a hoe.
Oh, wow.
Now, to be fair, the clip that they were reacting to when they called her a hoe, it's not so much like an opinion. It's more just like, I don't know how anyone could walk away from that clip without coming to that conclusion about it, right? But like,
what was the clip?
It was her talking about how she chose to fuck T-Rel instead of Lil Wayne.
Okay.
Now, I mean, the thing that's the hoe thing is not the fact that she fucked T-Rel instead of Lil Wayne. The fact that the hoe thing, from a lot of people's perspective, is just that she like had multiple different guys to choose from that night. I think that's why they were kind of shocked.
But that's typical.
But look what you just said. That's what these hoes do. Exactly. Yeah, it's not like that out of the ordinary. It's just that's what hoes be doing.
That is pretty normal though for like
a young her. I'm just like, that's what bitches do. Period. Like,
that's like pretty like if you're a moderately attractive woman, you have like multiple options.
And you're hanging out with Young Money.
Okay, then like if you probably gonna be a little bit.
You're fucking the stylist. Like, what are we talking about?
But you getting, this is the thing. You're getting money from them. They probably paying your rent, helping you start your business. You gotta have 4 niggas if you a female. You get what I'm saying? Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, but okay,
like, so you got a job. I'm doing what I'm doing, and I got these.
But it wasn't like
it
wasn't. They weren't reacting to a church, a clip of her walking out of church. You feel me? Like, or like,
and she probably was like, you know what? I'm gonna go with the low key guy over here. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be my wife. I mean,
yes, no, exactly. You chose the right word. You're right.
Yeah.
No, I 100% agree because I mean, obviously, girls always have that choice to make.
Yeah.
Like my girl right now, my girl right now could go fuck some famous dudes, right?
I'm sure she could.
And ruin whatever she's built with me, or she could be with a guy who's a little bit maybe more. I'm not LeBron James. Not that she could fuck LeBron James. I don't know what his deal is, but like, you know, the guy who will actually have kids with you and buy a house with you and take care of you, you know, like that. Like every girl has that decision. You could fuck Lil Wayne. You're going to get 5 minutes of your life spent on that. Or you could be with a guy who's actually going to take care of you and go a little bit more down the totem pole. It's actually understandable.
It sounds like an intelligent decision at the end of the day.
Right. She lucked out.
If
Pre-bankruptcy.
what if she ate Lil Wayne's ass?
For sure she did.
Yeah.
That might change the dynamic somewhat.
Best rapper alive? How are you not going to eat that ass?
The F is for phenomenal.
He probably got a fire pussy. Nah, to be real though, that was kind of like before ass eating was like in vogue. But she probably did it anyway.
I feel like Weezy was
she was probably a trendsetter. She was at the forefront of that.
China is for sure an ass eater.
She's just doing whatever she does.
Lil Wayne was, you know, popping it up ecstasy. I'm sure that he got creative at certain points.
No, you got it. Yeah, I wouldn't hold that
But
against
these are
anybody.
me making jokes. I'm not calling it.
Yeah, no, I don't know nothing about this shit.
I don't know her like that. I just know that that's real wife.
But that's what that's
But
what
every
the reaction
bitch got
was.
a pass.
essentially.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like every bitch got a pass.
If you ain't got a pass, you got a future.
If she went to college, she's a hoe.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you that
1000%.
right now.
Oh, she was in a sorority? Oh, she had been trained.
I'm not gonna do that to those prestigious women, but if she went to college, she was a hoe.
99.9%.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like,
it's
like that. Like,
You've been to college, right, Adam? On campus?
You know, like not necessarily like as in depth as a lot of people have. Like I hear a lot of people talking about like their frat and shit, and I'm like, oh, okay, I don't know.
No,
I never got that.
Yeah,
I definitely like.
But you went to college, though.
I hear people talking about the Kappas like they're the Crips. Like, oh shit, like those are like, you gotta be worried about them. Like you don't want to fuck with the Kappas. And I'm like, I had no idea. I never heard of this shit.
The fucking Qs too.
Some of the like fools take that shit seriously.
The Qs, the black and gold dudes.
We taking it seriously.
All of them is buffed to the motherfucker.
I've never gone to college, but I definitely have like spent weeks living in bitches' dorm rooms before 1,000.
At a black college or at a regular college?
Both, you feel me? Like like multicultural, not like an HBCU. I've never spent weeks posted up at an HBCU.
Yeah.
But I've definitely I've been to like black frat parties and all that. That's just crack.
That sounds like a good like Ice Poseidon style stream. Like Lush spends a month at a HBCU.
To be fucking.
But you gotta have a text to speech on the whole time.
Nah, the crazy part is, right?
Now we know who would do that though.
The crazy part is it was like 2 white people enrolled into Clark.
There's normally a few.
At the time I was going, it was like 2 or 3 of them.
Even in that, what was that show? College Hill? They had a whole show. One of like the characters was like a white dude that went there and shit.
Crazy.
I swear to God.
And they were not the fucking white people that interact with blacks. They weren't the
Oh,
ones
for real?
that thought that they were black.
No?
Just like some white kids. Like they fucked with black people, but it was
No, they for sure.
they weren't like,
Isn't it?
yeah, I came from the hood school where I was at, so I just came to school with my homie. Like, you know.
Isn't that kind of janky though? Like they're like taking away spots from like, you feel me?
No, it's not. I felt that was dope. Like,
Is it?
when I saw him on campus, I embraced them. Like, I appreciate y'all for coming out.
So they
like,
down-ass
exploring the
white
culture.
boys.
Like, picking this school to come, like, when you could have used your white privilege to go to another school, you came right here. Dope.
I feel like
Reverse affirmative action.
I feel
fool.
like I would have done all right at the HBCUs up until like the last few years of No Jumper. I feel like maybe I would have been a little too contentious at
They
this
would have
point in my
fucked with
life.
you at one point. For
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, but I feel like now maybe our rap is a little too mixy.
Nah.
Yo, I tried to watch the Black Twitter documentary.
Oh yeah, how was it?
I turned it off at the moment that a woman said that basically like Facebook gentrified MySpace. That like white people saw all these black people coming to MySpace and were like, nah, fuck this. We're going to Facebook.
Nah, people left MySpace.
I lived through this era. That is not what happened.
No,
but what we hated about MySpace that made everybody want to leave was the fact that you would go to somebody's profile, it would take fucking 8 minutes to load.
For sure.
There's money signs coming down on the screen and it's playing a Khalees song.
No, it just became like a virus-infested like rapper spam, band spam.
But when I saw her say that, I was like, this is a woman who has been so brainwashed into thinking that racism is everywhere, that there is no way to explain MySpace going away without basically blaming it on gentrification. That to me was the moment where I was like, I am Xing out of this, and I'm watching a documentary about a Japanese guy who spent many years of his life stuck in a closet.
I feel like we still... Okay, so I had a Facebook early on because I remember it was a way to stay in touch with your teacher on campus. That's how Facebook came out. Wasn't it only for college students?
Well, originally
it was.
You could only have it if you were at Harvard, and then they expanded out to like a bunch of other colleges.
Or whatever,
so they created, it was a standard. They created this like very, very exclusive environment where you basically only could be on it if you went to these high profile schools and stuff. And I remember like my girlfriend, when I was 24, she fucking was like a hardcore Facebook user and like felt real cool about it. Like this felt exclusive to her. And then they opened it up, and it's like when there's like a club that's like really hard to get into, and then everybody can get in. And it was like that, where like everybody just rushed out of MySpace to join this other thing. But Facebook, in comparison to MySpace, was like super clean. There's only a couple things to do. It's more of your real friends.
More likely to know people or interact with them. A cap on how many people you can be friends with, so it's like more exclusive. Like that shit hit for a variety of reasons. I don't think racism or like the existence of black people on MySpace had almost anything to do with it. No, it was way less spammy.
But,
That's number one.
But what I was saying was people didn't really like, I don't know if where you came from, Facebook was a big thing. Like people really...
It wasn't until it was. Yeah, it was like that thing other people had until one day it was like, oh, we all on this now.
People rather Twitter over Facebook for a long time.
But this is all pre-Twitter.
Yeah,
the MySpace Facebook thing was pre-Twitter.
But they opened up when?
Well, but Facebook, I believe Twitter started in like 2008, but nobody like really had it until like 2009, 2010. That's when it really started cracking. But at that time, nobody was thinking of it as a competitor to Facebook and MySpace because you could do so little on Twitter.
Right. But Facebook was like a family-oriented, like... It was like
exactly. Your mom was on Facebook and all that.
People from school and all that shit. That's
more personal
type shit. Because I feel like the college, when did they open up to where anybody could get one?
I want to say it was like 2008, 2008.
Yeah. And I don't know. The hood preferred Twitter over Facebook. People had Facebooks and they were keeping up. But
well, to be fair, the point that they're making in the documentary
was active on Twitter.
The point they're making in the documentary is basically that like black people as a whole had not really found their social media platform until Twitter, which I do think is accurate. That like on MySpace,
I fall into the statistics.
Black people were on MySpace. They're on Facebook, but it didn't feel like the thing about Black Twitter is at a certain point it felt like, oh, you're seeing like the collective thoughts and attitudes and opinions and jokes of like a sizable enough percentage of the black community that it kind of feels like the whole, like you're really getting like a real viewpoint into like how black people joke around about each other or what they find useful to talk about. So I may finish the documentary because there was a lot of like really interesting shit sort of shoved in there. And I even said to Lena, like when I started, I was like, this is a documentary about what I have spent a huge percentage of my life doing. Not like Black Twitter specifically, but like I've been looking at Twitter for an hour, maybe 2 hours out of the day for like 16 years, which is pretty fucking remarkable because like they're showing meme after meme after meme, and I know like 95% of the memes. I'm like, oh my God, I remember when that was the whole fucking thing for that week. Like,
culture moves fast.
I'm mad they kicked me out my main Twitter. Like when I went to jail, when I came home, I guess I hadn't opened up the email in so long.
they
just kicked you off.
I'm like, fuck.
Nah, you're.
I still
honestly,
got it, but I can't get in there.
Twitter went like Twitter.
Maybe Adam could get it back for
I feel like Twitter's less exciting now though than it has. It's not
because
even like
now it feels like you're seeing a bunch of people who are like famous Twitter users, whereas it used to feel like you were looking at like famous people in general. Like a lot of like really important people were on Twitter, like all these big journalists and shit. And as time goes by, it feels like any sane person would not want to spend a large percentage of their life tweeting.
Yeah.
And very few important people spend their life tweeting.
I remember when TwitPic first came out.
TwitPic was,
Oh my
I was on
God,
TweetDeck on my fucking PC every day. Oh my God, TweetDeck was a whole
tweeting live from TweetDeck. Like, the little hash.
it would tell you.
At the bottom of the little tweet.
Very
Yeah.
embarrassing. But I never tweeted via text, which a lot of people did.
Yeah, I was always on my
I had Sidekick, so I would just do it from the Twitter URL.
Yeah. But like, no, Facebook always felt a lot more sterile. You know what I mean? It's a lot more censored. It's like he said, like your auntie might be on there, your granny. Like there's like things you don't want. You're not gonna be like. And the people that do choose to talk that way on Facebook are absolute sociopaths.
And you have to have your real name, I feel.
But
like,
yeah, now they check your ID and all that. But the thing is this.
I'm talking about back then. Like,
they would encourage. Yeah, they're trying to track your profile.
Facebook name, right?
There's certain regions where it's cracking, like Facebook to this day.
Yeah.
Like in the South, like parts of the South, fools.
Bronx drill rappers. They'll be
Facebook
talking about
Live.
like, he got shot after he posted this on the book.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? Really? Like,
book.
but that's some weird shit because they all have rapper names, but then you'll see a post on the Chicago Wave or New York Drill Official, and they'll be like, oh, like 600 Breezy said this about this guy, and it's like his actual government name, and it's like very hard to follow if you don't actually know everybody's fucking government names.
Yeah.
Period. That's why I'd be like, I don't know about Facebook, but I still to this day, and I know it's money over there. I need to tap into that.
I really wanted to I wanted to finalize the Compa Raider conversation.
Absolutely.
Because an innocent person seems to have taken some collateral damage in this whole thing. There's a girl named Angie who I have spoken to a little bit over the years via Instagram and stuff like that. And I apparently Compa Raider spent some time with her. She neither confirmed nor denied this, but he had her on the phone and she didn't know that she was on the fucking phone, right?
No.
She didn't know she was on live.
No. He instantly.
He did tell her?
He instantly told her she appeared on the podcast, like with, you know what I mean.
I had never really
Apologize, bitch.
You tell me what's wrong with my brain that I had never really looked at her as sexy until I realized that Compa fucked her, and that kind of changed. It kind of like rewired my brain a little bit, where I'm like, oh, she is a nasty little hyena, isn't she?
Now, pending plug talk invitation, perhaps.
I didn't say that, Lush, but yeah, I don't know. Like, break that down.
As far as her being attractive, like
what? When did they bang? How did they bang? Were you there? Like,
I was definitely not there.
Every good man needs a Magnum holder,
but I was.
You
can't admit to it. You already got a hyena.
I do already have a hyena. I do already have a hyena.
Did you squeeze?
Squeeze his ass cheeks and insert him.
Nah, I'm talking. Remember when I was talking to D-Lo when I asked did he squeeze Alien?
Yeah.
Some assistance. Sometimes.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Did you guided it?
Did you help? Yeah. No, like as far as that whole situation, again, this is from the same bender. Consenting adults doing what they do. You feel me? He spoke about it. He had certain statements that he was saying, like Raider. One of the things that's most exciting about him, and what makes him, in my opinion, such a dope podcaster, is that bro is unpredictable. Now I can see how that's a liability. I can see how that might be a hindrance to certain conversations, but it also makes him really exciting, really dynamic. You never know what you're gonna get. He says wild ass shit, and I think that ultimately, the number one thing, like whatever happened between them, and they sorted it out. They cool now. You feel me? Like, and she's a dope. She worked with Alex Alonso and all that, street TV, Latina affiliated. So shouts to them. You feel me?
I feel like when you do dirt, mainly like when you have sex with people that work in the same industry as you really kind of like owe it to them to keep it low key if that is the arrangement, especially because like you could tell that she was bothered by it because her getting dicked down by like one random podcaster could potentially, like, how this shit is. This shit is a boys club. It's 95% dudes in this space. So if one person knows that, like,
everybody gonna be hitting on her when they come to the
or talking about her like she's a hoe from fucking one dude, etc. And like we know, like, there's been a lot of girls who came through here over the years and was working here and everything, and like a lot of them were smart enough to not
keep
fuck
their
anybody.
on,
There's a lot of people, I'm not going to name who, but there's a bunch of girls I can think of who are part of the No Jumper universe who never fucked anybody as far as I know.
Right.
And they're probably smart to do it because they know what that's going to do to their fucking image.
They just kept it cool and just was.
Yeah, I could also think of some who fucked like one dude and did a pretty good job at making it so that it did not become like part of the conversation where I know about it, but like I don't feel like everybody knows about it, you know?
Yeah.
Then no, exactly. Like, and ultimately, I think that with her, it didn't seem like she had an issue with him referencing the fact that they were intimate because they talked about it, like, and they were open about it on a pod together. You know, I think it was like some of the, when he was talking about it later on, he's joking around and he was like, oh yeah, well, she, you know, of the 3 that I smashed, she was number 3 and and just like being
that's a lot.
Certain, like, he had certain statements that he made about her,
That's
intimately.
OD.
That was, but he retracted them. He retracted what he said. You feel me? Like, and ultimately,
It's a weird
like,
thing to retract.
I think he was, but that's the thing. It's like,
Has anyone ever
What did
retracted
he
that before?
retract? What did he retract?
he was like, the box critique.
So it was good or it was bad?
Well, eventually, like, he wound up saying it was good. You feel me? Like, he wound up spinning the block and saying.
That's what I just wanted to know.
At first he was like, I think that's what mainly, like, yeah, and she, like, that's the thing. She doesn't have this reputation as being this chick that's out there.
To me, she's kind of like brand new in the industry. Like, I don't know if she's actually brand new in the industry.
No, she's been around for a minute.
When I seen her at Alex's shit, that's when I was like, oh, okay, you actually like working this shit. Like,
popping out of
I
the
don't know what she like
space.
did before that or whatever. I probably just forgot. But
She
like,
had a magazine for years. Like,
what's it called?
Latina affiliated. Like, that was like.
I'm about to reboot that, man.
Yeah.
Hit me up, Andrew. We're gonna bring that back.
Rewind.
Yeah, Latinx affiliated. Damn, people told me somebody was telling me I should have asked Bozo what he thought of Latinx.
I'm sure you would have got a dope answer.
He would have had
Bozo.
He would have had a good,
but
good
like,
perspective on that.
Like, I think that will just be like who writing and trying to be entertaining. And I think like love it or hate it, him and I together is a hilarious dynamic.
But
and like,
the dynamic is like you trying to rein him in. It's like you trying to save him from himself.
But that, I feel like,
and that is entertaining.
Part of that is funny, you know what I mean? But like, I have my own, like, I'm wild in my own ways, like, you know what I mean? I say a lot of shit that be off the cuff. I say a lot of things that incite conversation and sets off. I'm Miley Cyrus in this bitch. I'm a real life wrecking ball. Like, when I come somewhere, like, shit, the dynamic shifts. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know, but I get it, and I think Raiders got a bright future. I think we all just gotta. I would hope that people stall him out, stand behind him, and watch him cook, because I feel like in time he gonna demonstrate a little bit more.
He definitely
diversity.
could grow in a space. We're not saying that he can't. It's just that right now he's like, we're expecting more lefty gunplay from him than good podcasters.
But even lefty gunplay,
he's
for the
better,
most
way better.
But they ain't caught Lefty slipping yet. Like, Lefty's like, he's doing his thing, and yes, he might be on one, but he's moving like a G, right?
Nah,
I've just seen a little too much from Raider that I'm like,
I'm talking about in the pod world.
That doesn't seem very G.
I'm talking about in the podcast.
Why did damn homie just come in and say Bricc can't go to his own hood?
We don't know if that's
not her,
is that the real damn homie?
It's
Probably
her.
not.
It's her.
You think?
Yeah,
well, thank you for the $2. Wow.
Yeah, she does that shit. She was doing it last night.
What the fuck?
Like, she just wants to keep going on. Like, bitch, what I'm gonna do? Pop out and prove to damn homie that I could go to my hood? Like, what are you talking about? I'm with the homies right now. What are you talking about?
That's insane. Her saying that is so crazy.
And this
like
is
right
like
now as we speak.
She really ended up being like one of the most
Crips.
just
annoying
the
bitches.
Wildest people to have ever graced this platform.
You know what's like
annoying, thirsty bitch. You mad because I called you thirsty, bitch? You still thirsty? Can't nobody stop me from calling you thirsty.
It's super like crazy for me to like see people that used to be a part of No Jumper or were like for a like, and then like I like hindsight's 2020. I look back on like a lot of the moves that I made, and I'm just like, oh my god, I see so much of myself in these other people.
I
you know what I'm saying?
I don't even want to say it, but shout out Psycho J for Bounty Hunter. So at the end of the day, she is so fucked up. Like, you get what I'm saying, in her head, that she thinks that she can call gang members. It's my boy Psycho J. He's working on coming home right now. I guess she's helping him with his prison reform or whatever. So he calls me like, yeah, man, because I guess I said fuck him. When she's like, I'll fuck with Psycho J. I'm like, well, fuck her. Like, well, like, I didn't care if she would have said.
You weren't talking about him specifically.
I wouldn't give a damn what name came out of her mouth.
Right?
Yeah.
She's helping people get out of prison?
Allegedly.
How does she do that? I want to do that.
That's dope.
Yeah, she's not. She's
Kim Kardashian does it.
We could do a real prison reform because I got real cases we could appeal, and we can help Psycho J. But she's just the face because she's the only social media
presence
that he has right now, and he's working on getting more. So shout out Psycho J. But she is continuously playing, doing all this shit. Then she'll call him like, well, Bricc, baby, you won't stop. Listen, can't nobody in this world stop me. Just like you know gorillas on the yard, I know gorillas on the yard too. I'm not bowing down to nothing. And you know what I'm saying? Like me and the bounty hunters on the street, we got a perfect understanding of what's going on. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but like, can't no white girl ever. Can't no girl get in the middle of no gangbang issues, and can't no white girl call in on them type of issues. I'm not. That's out. Like, stick to the prison reform. Help my homie get out of jail. Stop putting his name in the middle of shit. Because that's what she's doing this, and she's going back. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, stop putting real niggas' name in the middle of your bullshit. Bitch, you don't got nothing to do with gangbanging, bitch. Keep your name, your nose clean of that shit, because shit can happen to you everywhere over that shit.
She like
this shit is a universal
BBL. She like coming to LA and just set the city on fire, turn hoods against each other.
Yeah,
oh
like
God.
On the hood, like that shit, something that happened to you on both ends. Of
that
shit.
would be fucked up if especially like when there's different factions that get along with each other, and then some outside entity come and
nigga, we
search
ain't starting no,
that is
stop
fucked
calling
up.
gangbangers over this shit.
Okay.
Just conceptually, that's
Let me
fucked
ask you
up.
this. Oh no, I could see another one coming in. What's this one going to say? That's not his homie. Brick's a fraud. She's just over here commentating. But anyway, so this is my question. Damn homie, respectfully. If she hit you tomorrow and said she wanted to fuck, would you enjoy it more due to the percentage of hate fucking that it would be because you have this energy towards her?
Of course.
Like, would it make you more into it if it came down?
Hard,
It would start with some, and I'm saying hypothetically, like from like, but it would have to start with some hate dome for sure.
Oh, for sure, we need hate dome.
I'll make her call me a nigger and all that.
You would?
Like, you want this nigger cock? Say you want this nigger cock, bitch.
Oh my God. Shit just got incredibly real.
But then you film her saying that, and then you use that against her the same way she filmed.
Yeah.
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 Is that AI?
That could be.
Yeah,
That
that's AI.
She gonna say it's AI.
That's AI.
Sheesh.
I'm just like, is that just cap?
Wait, yeah, that's super cool. Like, what?
I have no idea. But anyway.
They think that that's a fucking diss song. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, what's up with that? Why does everybody think that YG diss you?
Oh, right.
Yeah, like, nigga, I don't know. Like, nobody fuck my bitch. Like,
But he said something about perks. Like, you a perk
that's
head.
the only shit that.
But
he
how
could
many
have been
fools are
talking
perk heads
about.
in the streets of LA right now? Like, that's
He said.
But you still gonna say it about. You could diss somebody. You might call them a perk head if you thought they were worse than you.
You said what?
Like, if you were beefing with somebody.
And you thought they were more of a druggie
You
than
might just call them a perk head. Like, it don't matter that you're a perk head. You're just going to call them a perk head. That's just what we do.
Yeah,
you know?
that's what we do.
You could be gay and you're going to call another dude gay.
It's not a compliment.
I see it happen all the time. like seeing a gay dude call a fucking other dude gay. I'm like, huh?
I seen black dudes arguing about who's the most black.
Yeah.
Like, using that to diss each other.
For
Like,
sure.
I'm black, but I ain't black like you. When I first moved to New York, I heard two BMX riders, like actual, like legit pros, arguing over that. And that was the moment when I realized, being out here in New York, I'm going to get to figure out how black people actually talk to each other. I'm going to hear shit that, like, I would never hear on TV or in rap songs, because I never even knew that was a thing. And then I go to New York and I'm like getting turned on, like all this other crazy shit happening.
Like YG making a diss song to me and talking about making it uncomfortable in my hood. Like, first of all, last time you came to my hood or jeopardized my hood, you gonna have the goons pop out and all that shit.
Last time that I checked.
Last time you came to the hood, nigga, your hero is outside right now. Like, he saved you from a whole lot of shit. So it's a viral clip of Conrad walking you out of there, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, he got a relationship with my hood. I doubt that he'd make a motherfucking diss song like that about me. He might have threw some shit in there talking about Scottie bullshit, Scottie Pippen and all that shit. I don't know if that's the reference that they were referring to, but like, my bitch getting fucked by somebody from Pyro, where does that narrative come from?
Yeah.
But I feel like I have kind of heard other people try to push that narrative too. Is this all just made up?
I think that's from the whack shit, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. The dude, this is what I'm trying to tell you. The little dude was the dude that was sitting right there in the seat. It was Pesci. Pesci is a dude that I met through Rad and Renpaul when I came home, a fucking weird trick, pay to be around you type nigga. You get what I'm saying? So he was acting like he wanted to bail me out of jail. So what he did, he cashed out my wife $1 to send a message like, send me your number. While I was already out. But I guess while I was in there, he did it. Then he like, yeah, we need. So when I got out, he was calling back. He had finally called. She like, this Pesci calling. Whoa. I'm like, I don't want to talk to him. Cause you had already bailed me out, all that shit. But I didn't never even call him or ask. He was trying to figure it out. So I'm like, tell him we need 5 bands. Tell him to send 5 bands right now. So she talking to him like, yeah, whoa. She like, but I need his whole name. I'm like, look, he doing that for whack. I'm like, look, he want to know my whole name so he could look up my shit. She like, if you trying to send the money for the bail, like, nigga, send the money for the bail. What the fuck do you need to go through another? You like, cause I got another agent that they just was trying to look up my name. So I'm like, look at the weird shit he doing. So boom, the next day, it's like, I guess he sent all the text messages to Wack. He like, yeah, Bricc baby can't get out of jail. He need 5,000. He broke. He the homie that be fucking his wife. Nigga sent me the screenshots, and guess what? He got her stored under Bricc baby. Nigga, he a code. Like, bro, the nigga just got the number that day. Nigga, this is a nigga that I've been.
So literally, just because YG's from Treetop, then people are gonna make an assumption like,
but it was a nigga from 2Ps that Wack was talking about.
Okay, so yeah,
but he's a buster. Like, he's a nigga that didn't want to pop out, send me the wrong address to his house that day. That was like I was sliding through the valley looking for somebody. That was him.
Who actually I was speaking to him today because he told me that G-Face's wife is trying to get in touch with me.
Really? Are they like on good terms, him and his wife?
I think so. Yeah. Because I think G-Face, he called into some other shit saying that he basically like didn't snitch. And he's coming out on a full campaign saying that all this shit is capped. So it's going to be like litigation in the streets from like 1090 Jake and him.
Make sure you talk.
We're gonna have to figure it out.
Make sure you talk to her on a payphone, or don't call me no more off that phone after you talk to her.
So I could talk to her, and then my phone will become tapped just by that.
Man, yeah.
That's how it works.
Tap through the text. Tap through text.
That shit's probably already tapped anyway. You got the whole world admitting the fucking shit on your platform.
No, but you make me call you back on FaceTime just in case anybody is listening.
Yeah,
FaceTime is a preferred method of communication.
How does that work though? They can record your calls but not your FaceTimes?
Nah,
I feel like
because it's an encrypted Apple.
Well, if you, I know for sure if you use like WhatsApp or if you use Signal and things like that, that's where
FaceTime.
They can't get that.
They can get into that. They tapped into that. Apple doesn't let the feds regulate their shit. That's why they had the problem when they had the fucking terrorists that did the thing at the childhood Planned Parenthood thing.
Okay.
Yeah, remember they couldn't get into his phone and all that shit.
Do you want me to keep reading these $5 donations from her?
I don't know.
I'm not going to keep reading them. It's pretty funny that she's still going.
She can keep going.
Yeah.
But the super chats are appreciated for Showski.
For show.
Baby,
And
cash out.
just in case anybody has
I fuck too. Damn, mommy, you want to suck some dick? Let me know.
there you go. But for the record, we are going to be doing a music stream after this in approximately like 10, 20 minutes, something like that. We'll take like a little 10, 15 minute break, and then we'll be back on here doing the topics and everything like that. Oh, fuck. I just had something in my head that I was going to bring up, but I can't remember now. I mean, I feel like we politicked about the DW / people leaving, or not even leaving, but the reorganization of No Jumper. And then we did the Compa arc. We did a little bit of the Bricc YG thing. I'm trying to think of like what the other important stuff that we should definitely hit.
There's definitely like several like topics that we had, but
We do have topics. Oh, yeah. This is my other thing. In terms of like, as soon as we kind of strip away a bunch of the shows, my brain starts going to like, okay, well, what is going to be the next piece of content that we do add, since we basically strip No Jumper down to just the Tuesday show and then the Adam and Wax show. So I've spoken to you about this, but I do feel like there is going to be another nightly show at some point. It's just like exactly who are going to be the hosts and exactly what the content is going to be is probably going to be the main thing that we have to decide. Also, like what my commitment to it will be, because I do have a shitload of interviews going. There is kind of like part of it in my mind is like, fuck, like if we do another one, maybe it should start at like 2, so it's like a little bit earlier, so that we're not necessarily going to be like in here super fucking late, because as you know,
rush hour casting.
We were in here till like 10 or 11 or some shit the other night, and that was a little bit rough. Not as I'm down, but it was like,
yeah,
it is a little out of control. But I would like people to drop comments where they basically let us know if you could envision a weekly No Jumper show with a combination of different hosts, who would you want to see together?
What
the
about
dream team?
pre-rec? Like want to do it you want to know the live show?
My thing is, I think I like this model of us doing the live stream followed by the music streaming, because it's always worked for us in the past, and it kind of takes something that is sort of like inherently like a money-losing endeavor, which is basically doing the live podcast, and just adds something afterwards that makes it make a lot more sense for us, just in the sense of like, oh, we do the stream with the donations and shit, is more content, we get more clips, but then more importantly, we can also play people's music and actually kind of make a nice business model out of it. So I do think that like Thursday is probably the day that I'm kind of having in mind in terms of what would make sense for us to build out another one. But definitely we need different opinions in here. I'm seeing a lot of Bricc, Sharp, Compa, Lush, Sharp, Bricc, Compa, Adam, Sus, Lush. As I said before, I do feel like I'm going to kind of need a little bit of seriousness from Compa that I maybe haven't seen, at least in the last
Lush,
week
Bricc,
or so.
Sharp, Compa. That's kind of hard.
We'll
Lush,
see.
Compa.
We'll see. But either way,
Flacco, Lush. I like what you was talking about.
I just thought about that shit. I was like,
Sus and Lush probably not going to happen. You know?
To be honest with you, like,
dope with music though.
I think at this point, like, we probably could. You feel me? Like, and we've had subtle conversations, and I don't know. Like, look, I'll say this: I'd be down to fuck with bro. You know what I mean? Especially if we just talking about some rap shit, because he is, pretty knowledgeable about the rap shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's one of the people that. But whatever, fool. Like, whatever y'all trying to do, like, we out here trying to push lines. So let's get it.
That's big of you.
Yeah.
You're not hung up on what has happened in the past. Yeah.
Hell no. Absolutely. I mean, like, I was already over it. Like, we literally.
Maybe Ryder listen to some music with us.
There you go. Maybe Rattle listen to his music with. I think Remo might be pulling up for the one tonight, especially because he had some topics that he really wants to throw our way.
Over topics still.
Let's do that.
We do still have some topics, but I feel like during the music stream, it's easy to kind of like either have the fans ask a question or for somebody to just kind of bring something up and just sort of bust into that for a period of time. Because I don't think we could watch it on the stream after this, but I did want to talk about DJU talking about smoking Tuka with FBG Young. Whoa. Did you watch that clip?
Yeah.
We can watch. You didn't see it, right?
No, I've seen it in the topics, and I was like, that's crazy.
I mean, we could even just watch it on here. I don't know.
I wait to watch the clip so you can get a live reaction from me.
Yeah.
That's what certain shit like that.
Yeah, we could save that. Maybe Remo can get down on that one with us and everything.
What's poppin', Ree?
Something I found very, very entertaining. But as far as other topics that we have going, okay, why did you, and I hate to make this all like Lush insider drama, but like, why did you contact Yuri and tell him that you needed the fade?
I was just faded and reacting to something someone said. They were like that he had just said like, "What's up?" Like this fool won't pull up. Da, 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 and like so, I was like, "Oh fucking fool, what's cracking?"
He said you wouldn't pull up.
Yeah. He's like, I'm just afraid of Compa. I'm not afraid of Lush. Da, da, da. And like honestly, like bro, whatever. Honestly, this is what I gotta say. What the fuck? I look like beefing with this fucking lesbian Greta Thunberg post-op twink with
who you
fucking
called
purple
Greta
hair.
Thunberg.
You feel
Okay.
me? Like, fuck out of here, fool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need this. I don't need this fucking.
Do you think you can beat him up?
Bro, I know I will knock
What if
that
he
fool out.
hits you with
fool,
like a spinning like backhand that he fucking watches?
He can use every
UFC
fucking
fight.
move in fucking Chun-Li's wheelhouse. It's like hopping off of the side of walls.
You
and
got
like,
him by like 100 pounds.
Exactly. It's not even like I told him bring a skateboard, hit me with a skateboard. Fool. Like, but honestly, all that shit. My girl like hollered at me. She's like, "Yo, like, what are you doing? Like talking about this kid? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like they're like, and shouts to my girl for being like the first woman that I've really been with that doesn't enable me and doesn't take any of my shit. I called her on the way over here, like feeling some type of way about shit. I'm like, babe, you feel me? I'm feeling a little bit down right now. She's like,
over what?
I was just like, you know, like you never just get in your head. You
No,
feel me?
definitely.
Like,
but I'm just like curious. Like,
I was just literally in my head feeling it. Sometimes you just want your bitch to be like, you feel me? You the goat, baby. You love her. She said, you know what? She said, you got a dick and 2 balls, and don't fucking forget that shit. You feel me? I'm like, all right, you like, that's a real bitch right there.
We
like,
love toxic masculinity. That's fire.
I got a question before we get out of here, right?
Okay.
Do you mind, or how do you like that everybody else is live streaming and coming together outside of No Jumper to just like show the camaraderie while we're not live streaming?
Let me explain this way, is that to me, it feels like I feel very free. I feel very light because for so long with No Jumper, it's like we're making content and then other people go and they just go stream at night and they talk about this, that, and the other thing or whatever. And like, I always felt kind of possessive about that. Like, why the fuck am I paying people and they're just doing streams, or why can't they have this conversation on our shit or whatever? It just feels like that's part of like me kind of like just saying that everybody can do their own thing, because I think at a certain point I just realized that people have so much energy for live streaming that me trying to like contain all of it on No Jumper was just like ultimately not really gonna work out that great. Like it was just, you're fighting against something that is so natural for people to do that it's like, if you're under contract to stream on No Jumper, even if you were doing 2-3 news episodes per week, and that's 6 hours right there, plus the No Jumper show, plus let's say you even had another show or whatever, that's like 10 hours. Like a lot of these like people, like if your main thing is that you want to live stream, I mean, let's be real, like a lot of Twitch streamers and shit will sit on stream for 8 hours a fucking day. So
being
for
boring
me,
as fuck,
at least like where I'm at now, I honestly feel good just being able to see that you, Remo, and Sharp did a stream and to feel zero, oh, like they should have done that on No Jumper. Like at a certain point, I feel like let's let everybody have their streams. We'll have a few No Jumper shows per week or whatever it is, and we could take some of that content and some of it rises to the occasion that we discuss that stuff on here or whatever. But as far as for me, like I'm just not tripping about trying to like really contain everyone. I feel more like we're gonna do if we only did 2 shows per week. All right, cool. I'm gonna pay people to do the shows that week, and then we're gonna like that's part of the business. And I don't feel like then if you go home and you talk about what you just talked about on the show, it's whatever. Like
it helps us hone our skill sets too. You feel me? Like we're able to get this shit cracking, and you know, like that's like me and Raider. Like I went from basically having no choice and having to build after like being fired from No Jumper and having to build my channel with just like the few homies that I had that were on that shit and were willing to work in the podcasting space. And I had to build that shit, and I was getting fucking like 120 live viewers. You know what I mean? Now like every time we stream, stream, we're like 800, 900, 1,000, fucking 1,200. Like, it's like we hit 1,300. We hit over a few thousand. Like I was like, damn, like that feels great.
And Sharp, we hit like 2,600 last night.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. We be going like.
But what I was saying, but not in the pod setting. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even if they were doing like solo shit, like academic style streaming, would you feel like that was cross content? Because we never really had that.
No, because like Almighty's doing that. Almighty's like playing video games, doing this thing, you know?
Yeah. Now, that was just a question because a lot of people like are in like DMs and different comments like, Adam doesn't like it that you're live streaming. Adam doesn't like and it's like, I'm like, I think that he encouraged us to go try it. You know what I mean?
But that shit fucks with people's heads, dude. It really does. When you go from being on No Jumper or just or any platform where there's so much emphasis on the production value and there's like this whole team to doing it on your
not that much.
I mean,
maybe compared to some people.
Compared to what it feels like when it's just you and a fucking computer, that shit feel different, bro. And there's none of the lights, none of the cool shit. Like you take, you're like, if you get your podcast career launched on a platform like this, motherfuckers become spoiled as hell. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then once you start hearing, like 9 times out of 10, when fools crash out, it's based on the fans in their ear or in the chat. Like, that's literally every single fucking time.
And if anything, it's like, we can talk about all this drama with all these characters that like, it feels like the extended No Jumper universe is like all of the LA streamers and like that's all kind of like No Jumper for some reason is like what people consider that, you know, because we kind of like started it like, you know, I don't want to say we started it, but like, let's be real.
You're a staple.
There wasn't a million fucking gang members doing streams in LA really until we kind of broke it open by having a bunch of people on here. And that kind of showed everybody else that they could do it too. Yeah. And I'm not trying to like take credit for it or anything. It's just something that really kind of started on this platform.
You're the Jerry Heller of gangster podcasting.
A lot of people bust that joke out on me. American Chola did that the other day too. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't even me. It was just like AD and T-Rell and all them. They started streaming on here, and then that kind of like influences the fucking ODM Slims of the world and the Spider Look. I don't know if Spider Look was doing it before or whatever, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah, what was he saying about you? He was saying that you don't have a history of being active or something?
Yeah, you see that clip?
I did see that clip. What's that?
Yeah, we got into it.
I thought y'all were cool at some point.
We got back cool in the same fucking clubhouse shit.
Oh, really?
It's just two egos. We was chest poking at the same time. Because if I just like, if I ain't got a history, then shit, you ain't got a history, nigga. Like, you can't tell me, man, you don't know what I've been doing. You from, you know what I mean? And he was going back and forth, and then like, we ain't supposed to be showing that type of disagreement online, whatever the case is. And I had to tell him, like, bro, y'all watching me on No Jumper and judging my life off of No Jumper. Like, this would be this place where I would not act like a heathen. Like, this would be like, it would work in my favor to not act like how everybody wanted me to act, because if I did, I won't be around for that long. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can't just sit here and motherfucking
is Clubhouse literally
bang on everybody and want to beat up everybody that come through the motherfucking door and all that shit.
Clubhouse though, that's what I'm not really like stressing, trying to like contain on this channel.
That is like the most,
you know, everybody doing their thing on Clubhouse. For a while, this was like IRL Clubhouse.
Yeah.
And I feel like we just kind of had to take a step back from there at a certain
Clubhouse.
point. Like, let's just see what this shit is like if we make significantly less content and just kind of reel it in. And then I'm just not going to stress people making content on here, whatever. If some crazy shit happens, if the most viral shit in the world happens, if you and Sharp get into a fucking fist fight, listen, I'm perfectly happy having that shit not happen on here. And then we can watch the clip on here and talk about it and comment on it.
Yeah.
And I'm not pressed about having to be the one who just like had to manage this whole situation, have to pay the security to be there, have to deal with the consequences, have to deal with whatever. And then we get $60 off of fucking, you know, YouTube as a result of getting that content, whatever. It's like at a certain point, all right, I'm kind of taking a step back. I'm letting everybody be free, and we'll see what happens.
Period.
That's kind of where I'm at.
Clubhouse is the paradigm of toxicity, to be honest. Literally, like, it's probably the most toxic place.
Because it's the number one place where, like, nobody's got any skin in the game. So everybody's just, like, Game of Thrones in it.
The conversations that I've seen happen on Clubhouse. Remo in the building. What's popping?
Baby Ray. So shit.
Okay, I'll take that as a sign.
So
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. I think we went over.
No. I don't want to like make the No Jumper show worse or shorter so that we can just start the music stream, because that is kind of like I can already kind of like feel that in my head, like shit, like I don't want to like cut this shit short so that we can just like emphasize the music stream or whatever, but we'll cross that bridge when it happens. We're gonna get off now and we're gonna start up another live stream in about 10-15 minutes. Lush said something. I don't even know what the gay thing I said was.
We're going to get off.
All right. And then we will be back in 15 minutes. So if you guys want to get your donations in, there's a link in the description, or go to nojumper.com, hit the thing in the top left corner, promo, select the cheapest option to get your song donated or whatever. And we in here. So we'll see you all again in like 15 minutes.
Salute.
Much love.
The most expensive option.
Appreciate y'all.
Gang. All damn day. Come on.